Okay, so apparently the number 19 proves the Quran is from God. That's right. That's exactly what this guy told me. You know, someone who isn't a Muslim, but also isn't a Christian, but calls himself a submitter.
No, I'm a submitter. I only worship God.
He says Islam is satanic. Amen. Hallelujah. That Muhammad shouldn't be mentioned in a Shahada, and that every other religion got it wrong. But don't worry, he's got math on his side to prove it all. His claim, the Quran has a miraculous numeric code based entirely on the number 19. 114 chapters, that's 19 times 6. The first verse, 19 letters. The name God, 2,689 times. That's 19 times 142. Every time your lips touch together reciting the first chapter, guess what? That's 19 times. My level of patience by the end of this debate, you guessed it, divided by 19. But here's the kicker. This miracle wasn't even discovered until 1974. That's over 1,300 years after the Quran was revealed. And apparently that was the plan all along. God left a secret code in ancient Arabic that required a biochemist, a computer, and a calculator to crack. And I pushed back hard. Is this code real or just pattern hunting with an unhealthy obsession with numbers? Could Muhammad even have done this on purpose? Can you do the same with Kendrick Lamar lyrics? And at what point does it stop becoming a miracle and is just math class? Look, if you ever wondered whether or not divine revelation comes hidden under a PIN number, or if the number 19 is secretly the password to salvation, this episode is for you. So stay tuned as we do a deep dive into the number 19 Quran manuscripts, numerals that didn't even exist, and some good old-fashioned I made it up theology. Because if everything is divisible by the number 19, maybe your worldview is too. Let's get into it.
Quran and Hadith. Give Big John a chance. What's up, John?
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, doing well. Thank you very much.
Good, man.
Yeah, what do you have to say about all this stuff?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a Muslim.
Okay, you requested to come up. So what did you want to talk about?
Yeah, it says submission, the only proven religion. I'm guessing that's Islam.
No, Islam is a satanic, demonic, fake religion.
Okay, so I was confused. So are you Christian?
No, I'm a submitter. I only worship God. So Christians worship Jesus.
Okay.
Muslims worship Muhammad. And submitters only worship God. And I only worship God. I'll never worship Muhammad.
Okay, what do you mean the only proven religion then? What's the religion?
Submission. This is the religion of Abraham.
Submission?
The religion of Abraham is submission. Yes, yes.
Okay.
And Muhammad was ordered to follow his religion. And this religion is devoted absolutely to God alone. So if someone claims they're Muslim and their Shahada is Muhammad in it, that's not God's religion.
Okay, so
God's religion is worship God alone.
Can you just define for me how you're using religion real quick?
A religion is a comprehensive way of life and means of salvation.
A way of life and a means for salvation?
Yes.
Is it both those things or can it just be one?
It's both. Yeah.
It has to be both.
Let me phrase it a different way.
Okay.
Religion is a specific prescribed way of life. It's a method of doing things.
A prescribed.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Who prescribed it?
God,
Okay. Which God?
the creator of the universe.
Okay. Who is that God?
What do you mean by who?
Yeah. So like, can you give me like properties or like this God's ontology or like how would I know this God?
God is most gracious, most merciful, omniscient, omnipotent, almighty, most kind, most wise. These are some of his attributes. Does that help you?
Not really, because I'm trying to figure out like where would I learn about this God? How would I know about him? Where would I find evidence of him?
The Quran.
So Quran.
The Quran.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so do you believe the Quran is the dictated word of God?
Yes.
Okay.
The Prophet Muhammad.
Okay.
And for all of us to benefit from. Yes.
Okay. How do you know it's dictated from God?
Because it's the proven word of God. It's the only book that has comprehensive evidence for its existence and attribution to God.
Like what?
Code 19.
What's code 19?
Code 19 is a comprehensive mathematical structure in the Quran based on the number 19. Chapter 74 is titled The Hidden Secret. Verse 30 says over it is 19. And in the 70s and 80s, a biochemist in America put the Quran into the computer and found a comprehensive coding system that structures the whole Quran in a manner that's beyond human capacity.
Great. Can you prove that?
Do you want to go over simple facts?
Well, yeah, like that just sounds like something,
Sure.
you know, when I watch TikTok all the time, I see people like, this crazy conspiracy theory. There's this thing in this, your shampoo, it's taking over you. You notice this specific, like, You say
Sure.
there's comprehensive
Yeah.
code in it. So can we see it?
Yeah. So, for example, the Quran is 114 chapters, 19 times 6. The first verse in every chapter except 9 is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, which is 19 letters. The first revelation to the Prophet is 19 words. The last revelation to the Prophet is 19 words. The first revelation consists of 76 letters, which is 19
Okay,
times 4.
hold on, slow down. So there's 114 chapters.
Yes.
And when we're talking about chapters, those are like each individual revelation to Muhammad, correct? So there's 114
No.
revelations,
No, 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 no. The Quran
No.
didn't come like that.
right? Okay.
So for example, the first chapter revealed to the Prophet is 19 verses. But the first revelation is famously known as the first 5 verses, which is 19 words.
Okay, so where do we get the 114 chapters? Like who assigned the chapters?
This is universally accepted. All Qurans in the world are 114 chapters.
Sure, I'm not denying that, but my question remains, who assigned it?
The Prophet Muhammad did.
So the Prophet Muhammad assigned chapters?
Yes, that was his job. Part of his job was to identify what is the Quran for the people.
I'm pretty sure that the earliest manuscripts don't have chapters.
They do. I've seen them.
Okay.
Do you want me to load one on my screen?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, give me a second. Okay, let me just put it on my screen. Okay, check this out. Is that showing? Okay, so this is the oldest Quran manuscript in existence that's been carbon dated. So do you see how there's a line here? This signifies a new chapter. So then it starts Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. That's the beginning of the new chapter. This is
Okay.
19 letters.
So what's 19 letters?
The opening statement of every chapter in the Quran except 9. Chapter 9.
But how are we assigning 19 letters as the opening statement?
We're not assigning anything. We're just counting.
But what I'm saying is, how do you know like the next word after is like a new
Because that's
statement?
a sentence. Because it's separated by dots, brother.
Okay. Can
See
you show
the
me?
dots?
No, I don't see the
Yeah,
dots.
right there. Right there.
So between those dots, those dots are like periods?
Yes.
Okay. All right,
They
so
separate verses. So let me explain this to you.
yeah.
The verses are separated by dots, and the chapters are separated by squiggly lines. Hold on a second. I'm going to get banned. Hold on a second.
Why are you
I need to
getting
turn
banned?
off my camera for
Oh
because
yeah.
you can't drive.
Yeah, you're right.
You can't drive and be on
right.
TikTok. Hold on a second.
You know where else you can find the number 19? Over on our Patreon, which actually has nothing to do with the number 19, but it was a good segue. There you're going to find access to exclusive content just for you, which includes the full episode of this episode that you're actually watching, which involved a few more raids where we went onto other people's channels and debated them as well. You also get exclusive videos just for you and access to our daily Bible study where we're currently going through the Gospel of John line by line, bar for bar, or you could just sign up to support this channel and help it grow, help us reach the people that need to be reached. But without wasting any more of your time, let's get back to the number 19.
Okay, so in the oldest Qurans, they didn't have numerals, okay? Numerals were not invented yet. So what they did was they separate them with dots. Dots signify a new verse, and lines signify a new chapter. This is from the beginning. This is the oldest carbon dated manuscript dating back to 610, approximately 610 AD,
But-
which is during the Prophet's life.
Yeah. And you're saying Muhammad did this?
Yes.
Okay. Now I know you reject hadith, but as far as I know, like tradition has shown that he spoke the Quran to people, they learned it, they memorized it, and then eventually it was they wrote it down because like he didn't know how to read and write, right?
That's a false claim attributed to the Prophet, and they're doing that to try to make it appear more miraculous.
Okay, so Muhammad did know how to read and write.
Yes, he had to because he was a merchant. And as you can see, they didn't have numerals. They represented numerical values with letters of the alphabet.
Okay.
So he had to know the alphabet in order to transact in any transactions. That's number one. Number two, there's many words in the Quran that are spelled differently but sound the same. So if he didn't know how to read and write and he didn't recognize the characters, how would he know if they're transcribing the word correctly? So there's no way that's possible
Okay, so how do you know Muhammad wrote it?
because God says he did in the Quran.
Isn't that circular?
So it's not circular because we are in the process of independently verifying the Quran. once you verify
Okay.
the Quran is from God, then you trust everything inside of it, right? That's not
Okay.
circular.
But the numbers, you're using the numbers as like an evidence, and they seem like arbitrarily
Yes,
assigned.
they're not arbitrarily assigned. We're talking about basic parameters of a book, and
Hmm.
we're identifying if it's numerically structured. So if I tell you, hey, I made a book that's mathematically composed, you would say, okay, how is it mathematically composed? Well, the number of chapters is structured this way. The number of verses is
Hmm.
structured this way. The first chapter is this. The last chapter is this. The first sentence is this. There's a way to determine if something is deliberately designed or it's a coincidence.
But the thing is, even if I'm going to grant that, Kendrick Lamar did something very similar in one of his songs where he mathematically composed it.
Yeah, that's fine. But
Okay.
I'm not saying anyone can do a mathematical composition. The
Okay.
question is it beyond human ability or not? Whatever Kendrick Lamar did is
Hmm.
within human ability. But we have to both acknowledge that there is a limit to human capacity.
Well, okay. So
And
how do
what
you
I'm
know? Okay.
explaining
So
here,
what happened here? I'm still confused. What is the numerical miracle?
well, first, again, you have to move in stages.
Yeah.
First step is you have to identify the mathematical composition,
Okay.
understand its properties and its occurrence. Then we can introduce higher complexity in it, and you can make the determination if you believe Prophet Muhammad did this or not. I think that's the fair approach.
Yeah. So what is the mathematical complexity? Like,
Yeah, the whole Quran
yeah.
is structured based on the number 19. The whole Quran is.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just giving you different properties that
But
correlate
like
with this.
everything, so like every single verse is based off the number of 19?
Yes, because the number of verses is 6346, which is 19 times 334.
Yeah, but I can apply I can find any combination of numbers and make it 19.
You can't. No, you can't.
Why
You
can't I?
can't. So for example, hold on. Let me just fix my camera. 1 second. Okay. So check this. The Quran is comprehensively coded based on the number 19, not 13. You're not going to find a code based on 13 in the Quran. You're not going to find a code based on 11 in the Quran. You're not going to find a code based on 17 in the Quran. The Quran pinpoints the number 19. It
Okay.
itself gives significance to the number 19. Okay? In chapter 74, the hidden secret, it says over it is 19. It doesn't say 12. It doesn't say 13.
Sure,
It
sure.
doesn't say
Okay.
17.
Well, let me
It says
let
19.
me just grant it. It's 19, and he's found some way to do that. First thing I'd have to ask is, how do we confirm that? Did you go through like each one and count it? And the second thing I'd say
Yes.
is that
Yes.
I still don't see how that is like from God when Kendrick Lamar did the
Yeah,
same thing
well,
in his song.
again, yeah.
Hold on. Let me land the plane. Kendrick Lamar did the same thing in his song where every line lined up with a 10 or a 9.
That's good. That's fine. But what he
Okay.
did was within human capacity, right?
Why is this not within human capacity?
Because it involves a complex structure that aggregates thousands of digits. Again, this is a two-step process. Number one, you have to identify the composition, and then you have to make the determination based on the identified composition whether or not it's human made or is it not human made. So if you won't grant the miracle, then there's no point of doing
Well,
the analysis.
I am granting it. I just don't know
Okay.
how we get it to
Okay.
be. Well, I'm
Okay.
granting
Okay,
I'm granting
good,
the number
good, good,
19, but I just don't know how we
Good. If you
assign it to be a
granted-
miracle.
Okay, so now, yeah, good. So now the number of occurrences of the word God in the Quran is 2698, which is 19 times 142. Okay, so now we have to ask ourselves: did Muhammad do this? Did the Arabs do this? Did
Wait,
the Quraysh
what's
do
the
this?
significant? He said God how many times?
2698, 2698 times.
Okay.
Okay.
What does that have to do with anything?
Okay. The Quran is structured based on number 19, so it's all structured based on multiples of 19.
Okay.
So again, are you going to grant it or not? If you're not going to grant it, we have to go back to the drawing board.
Well,
and
I'm
talk
just
about
what
how
is
it's there.
2698? What is that?
2698 is the total occurrences of the word God inside of the Quran.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you tell me you're granting it, if you're granting code 19, then I have to present it to you. But if you're going to question
Well,
whether or not these things are true, then
I'm not questioning whether it's true. I'm trying to figure out how you're
Okay.
connecting 19 to 2698.
So divide. We have the word God. Okay, the word God occurs in the Quran
Yep.
2,698 times.
Yeah.
We're taking that number and dividing it by 19, and it's 142. It's a whole number. Remember when we said
why not
the
divide it by 13?
because God said 19. That's the whole point.
Oh,
So
okay.
God said 19 in the Quran. God said 19 in the Quran. Chapter 74 is the hidden secret. Over it is 19.
But why did you pick the word God?
That's the most important word in the book.
Why?
What do you mean? You're not sure, you're not understanding why God is the most important word in the book of God?
Well, I mean,
Because it's claiming to be from
you
God.
could you could just arbitrarily
Name a
pick the
word
word
that-
Muhammad, and
Yeah.
right, because he's the one who delivered the prophecy.
How is Muhammad more important than God? Explain that to me.
I'm talking about the word in the book.
Yeah. So I just arbitrarily.
I'm not talking. I'm not
just
talking about like an
casually-
ontological, metaphysical property
No,
of
but
like importance.
I'm trying to understand. Yeah, I'm trying to understand your point of view. So you believe it's arbitrary to choose God, which is the most important word in the book. Can you give me a word more important than God in this book?
Well, I'm just saying you could pick the word Muhammad because he's the one who delivered the prophecy, and you can make some
but God
arbitrary argument based off that.
Yeah. So if you are a believer in any God, right? Would you consider God to be more important or Muhammad to be more important?
I think the word itself is completely irrelevant to importance. It's the context of the word.
Okay, so you're not okay. I mean, God is the most important word in the Quran because God is the creator of the universe. So obviously he's most important. This shouldn't even be debated. I don't know why we're going into this.
Well, yeah. So for
God
example,
is
if I read a book where it talked about how God is terrible, we wouldn't count the amount of times it mentions God, would we? The context is what's important.
The Quran tells us that it's a book of God. It's a book from God. So the word God is automatically the most important word in this book. There's no word that's more important than the word God.
But the thing is, importance is like arbitrary by itself. Like assigning value.
Okay, so you're going to debate. Okay.
Assigning value is subjective.
The one that controls our lives. The one that controls our lives.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're in a company, is the one who founded the company not the most important person if he's there? He's present.
Yeah. So again, when we're assigning value, it's arbitrary. It's going to be
let me
each
just
individual's
saying.
subjective interpretation.
Okay. So you're saying there's no rhyme or reason to check why God is a multiple 19 in the Quran. You're saying it's totally arbitrary. You can't see why we would even choose this word. We could choose the word tree or dog. Or you're saying all these words would be equivalent to the word God. Well, that's what you're saying, right?
Here's the thing. So I'm a Christian. I think you've figured that out. There are a lot of Christians.
Actually,
oh,
I didn't assume you're Christian.
Okay, fair enough. I am a Christian, and there's a lot of Christians who use like numerology to try to explain the Bible, and they go through that quite a bit. I think it's nonsensical. I think if you start applying arbitrary ad hoc numbers to things, you can make anything sound kind of miraculous. So I've never used numerology in my scripture.
Yeah, so this is not.
And so I'm trying to see
numerology. This is not numerology.
This is numerology. This is
mathematical design. It's not numerology. I don't think you know what numerology is. Yeah. No. So explain the difference between numerology and a mathematical composition.
Numerology is basically when you're looking at numbers to derive meaning.
Okay, and that's not what we're doing.
Yeah, you're deriving a mathematical
proof. No. Pay attention.
Okay.
We are observing a mathematical structure in the Quran. That's it.
Yeah, to come to a conclusion, right?
I mean, the conclusion is secondary. You see how you keep jumping back and forth. You want your cake and pay attention. You can't have your cake and eat it too, right?
True.
You have to determine, is the Quran mathematically composed? If you're saying it's nonsense, it's not, then stop telling me you're granting it. Because you keep
I'm not. I didn't grant the entire mathematical equation. I granted the number 19.
Yeah. But if the Quran is structured mathematically, then that means it's deliberately designed. If you aren't willing to grant that, then we have to go back and talk about why it is mathematically designed. If you are willing to grant that, then you have to explain to me who did it, because you keep comparing it to Kendrick Lamar. Are you saying Muhammad was Kendrick Lamar and he intended for 19 to appear all over the Quran, or what?
Well, what I'm saying
is, you have to be consistent with what you're saying.
There's pretty much two arguments that I'm making. The first argument is that it seems like
you shouldn't make two arguments at the same time. Just focus. Make one argument at a time.
Yeah. So the first one is more along the lines of these numbers just kind of seem arbitrary and ad hoc. But the second one is even if they weren't arbitrary or ad hoc, it's not miraculous.
Yeah, it does. So if you consider the word God to be arbitrary, the Quran says it's structured based on the number 19. It references a numerically structured book. What would you consider non-arbitrary? What parameters of a book would you examine that would not be arbitrary according to your understanding?
Yeah, so humans find patterns in everything. Right?
That's fine. We're not talking about humans. We're talking about you. Just you.
Yeah, I'm a human.
About searching for patterns. But without looking at it, if you just said, hey, here are some basic parameters I would look at first, right? I'm not looking for patterns. I just want, you're making a claim it's mathematically composed. These are the properties of this text I would examine first. That's not pattern seeking. You're asking me, hey, give me some, I'm asking you, give me some parameters that you would examine.
Okay, so
this is
if we're
before
talking
you're
like
seeing any
something
19s.
that's, if we're talking about
Yeah.
something like a mathematic composition, I would like to see like a claim. So for example, this is how we
Okay.
know, oh, so hold on. This is how gravity works. Here is the mathematic composition of how gravity works. And then here's the conclusion. And then we could double check that and see if it's true. That would be like something,
Okay.
like, hey, that's pretty cool.
So I mean, okay, I guess I would say the first verse would not be arbitrary. I'll say, hey, what is the first verse of that chapter? That's not arbitrary. Let's see let's see if that has any 19 significance.
I'm
I would say
granting
the
you
first
19.
chapter. Okay, it's 19. Yeah, it's 19. Okay, so what about the first chapter? I think that's not arbitrary. The first thing I would look at a book is the first chapter, right? I wouldn't look at the 14th chapter. I wouldn't look at a random other chapter. I would look at the first chapter. Okay, well, the first verse is 19 verses, and the first chapter is structured based on 19. When I recite this chapter, my lips touch 19 times. So at some point, I have to stop assuming that it's arbitrary and say, okay, there's a mathematical design, but maybe Muhammad himself did this.
Right. I'm not pushing
That's-
back. I'm just, what do you mean your lips touch
Okay.
19 times? What are you saying?
When you recite the first chapter of the Quran, your lips touch 19 times, and the letter B and M is structured in that way. It's designed.
So in Arabic or English?
Yes. So when I say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, my lips touch on those letters in Arabic.
Okay. So so every chapter has this?
No, it's the first chapter because it's not arbitrary.
So just the first chapter.
Yeah, because that's the key. It's called the key. The name of the chapter is the key, and that's the chapter used for the prayer. So it's not arbitrary. So the point is that.
But hold on, the Quran wasn't revealed in chronological order?
Correct.
So why is that the first chapter?
Because that's the correct sequential order, and that's the chapter that we recite in our prayer, and that's the only chapter that we're speaking to God and God not speaking to us.
Well, it seems like Muhammad, if he wasn't from God, could have just placed that, and if he actually wrote it, could have just placed any one of the books that he wanted in the first chapter.
He could, yeah,
Okay.
he could. That's fine. We can grant that. That's fine. But again, you have to understand the parameters that you're proceeding with, right? If you're going to say there is no code 19, then we have to establish that there is one. And if you're saying there is a code 19, then we have to determine if this is within Muhammad's capacity in the 7th century.
I'm looking at, it's in English, so I don't know Arabic. You seem like you know Arabic. I'm looking at the first chapter right now. It's very short. Can you recite it for me right now? And I'm going to count the amount of times that your lips touch and see if it's 19.
Yes. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Well, you got to slow.
Yeah. Let me actually, and I have a counter.
And here's another thing. Are you counting words, vowels, or the amount of times that your lips touch?
Just the number of times the lips touch.
Okay, why did you pick that number? Why did you pick the number where your lips touch? Why not the amount of times your mouth opens?
I mean, we can count many things. Maybe there's more multiples, but I'm just giving you what I have.
But that's what I'm saying. It's arbitrary. Like you can find the number 19.
Okay. So why can't I do this with the number 11 then?
Maybe you can. There's probably a number of 11 in here somewhere. Like if we find a vowel, there's maybe 11 vowels.
But it's not going to be structured.
Well, I could just say that the first one has seven
Okay, so the first verse.
So why aren't we doing 7?
The first verse is 19 letters. Do you acknowledge this or no?
The first verse is, well, I only have English, so let me pull up an Arabic Quran. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, we can. I mean, I can try to show you.
Okay,
here.
so
Here.
first has 19 letters.
The first verse of the Quran has 19 letters.
So 1 has 19 letters.
The first verse, yes, 1 yes.
2, 3. I got 15, but granted, it's hard for me to distinguish the separation of letters.
Yeah, no problem. So it's 4 words. So how many letters did you get for the first word?
The first word looks like 2 letters to me.
It's 3. Ba, sin, mim. Bism. Ba, sin, mim. 3 letters.
Bismi.
The first word is
Bismi?
3 letters.
Isn't it bismi?
Ba, sin, mim. Bism, yes.
Bismi.
First letter is a
It's
ba.
bismi.
Ba, bism. Ba, sin, mim. 3 letters.
But I'm playing it. I know you can't hear it, but I can hear it. I can click the thing and it tells me how it says, and it's
Bismi.
Bismi.
Yeah, bism. So you need a ba to make
Yeah.
the ba sound.
Okay.
And you need an S, sin, to make the sound.
Okay.
You need a meme to make the M sound. So that's 3 letters right there. Okay.
Bismi.
Bismi. Okay.
Ba, sin, meme.
All right. 3 letters. Okay.
Okay. Okay, good. So there's 4 words total. We got past the first word is 3 letters. Second word is Allah, which is 4
Allahi.
letters. Aleph, lam, lam, ha.
4 letters. Okay.
Yeah. The third word is 6 letters. Aleph is ar-Rahman. Aleph, lam, ra,
Okay.
ha, mim, nun. 6 letters.
Okay.
And the last word is also 6 letters, the fourth word. Ar-Rahim. Aleph, lam, ra, ha, ya, mim. 6 letters. So now you have 6, 6, 4, 3.
Yeah, it's 19. But why not pick?
It's 19.
But why'd you pick letters and not words?
I didn't pick anything. We can talk about words if you want, but the point is that
But it's
again, so
it's only 4 words. Why not 4 words? Why are you doing letters?
because I didn't make the book.
But
We're
that's
trying to
what I'm
determine if the
saying is
Quran-
that you can find a
Okay.
mathematical equation
So-
in anything if you're looking for patterns.
Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. So
Yeah.
there's 29 chapters prefixed with Quranic initials. Are you aware of this?
There's 29 chapters prefixed with what?
With specific letters. Let me just answer this guy in the chat. A's been asking a few times. He says, why 19? Yeah, 19, the word wahid, which means one, as in reference to one God, has a value of 19, geometrical value. 1 and 9 represents the first and the last, the innermost and the outermost, the alpha and the omega. And 1 and 9 is written the same in all languages that adopted the Arabic or Hindu Arabic numerals. So I just give that introduction on 19 itself. Okay, so 29 chapters of the Quran contain Quranic initials that the Muslims have no clue about, right? So for example, go to chapter 50, 50 verse 1.
Okay. Why?
I mean, that's just an example of a chapter that has Quranic initial in front of it.
Okay.
You can go to another one if you want.
Where it says QAF,
Okay.
calf? Or
Yes, qaf, yes.
Okay.
Just qaf.
Okay.
Okay, so this is part of the structure of 19. These letters occur across their chapters and multiples of 19. So qaf occurs within this chapter 57 times, which is 19 times 3. So what
But it
I'm
didn't show up
what I'm
19
attacking-
times.
Yeah, it doesn't need to. It's multiples of 19.
But if it showed up like in a
Right, so-
but that's the thing that you have.
So-
How
so
many
what- so-
multiples
so-
of
so-
19
so-
are there?
5%. 5% of all numbers are multiples of 19. Do you understand?
Well, but there's an infinite amount of numbers.
No, yeah, but there's only 29 chapters that are prefixed. And if too many of these, using consistent methodology, are multiples of 19, then you now have established deliberate design. Do you
But if it's a
understand?
it's a multiple of 19, that means it's also a multiple of 8.
Yeah.
Why not 8?
Wait, what? No, wait, what?
Wait,
Wait,
yeah,
is 19?
8.
Wait,
Yeah, 'cause
19
19's a
wait,
multiple of
19 is-
8, so therefore it's a multiple of 8 as well.
Wait. 19 is a multiple of 19. Is 19 a multiple of 8?
So how many times did you say 56?
57.
57. 57 divided by 8. Or okay, we'll go 6 divided by 6. 57 divided by 6. 57 divided by 38.
Yeah, that's 19 times 2. 38 is
But
19 times 2.
what I'm just saying is like the 19 just seems
Wait, wait.
arbitrary.
Wait. 57 is not a multiple of 38.
Well, I'm saying you could pick a number that is a derivative
Yeah,
of it.
but we didn't pick but there's only one number that's consistent across them. Right? So we have these Quranic initials that occur within their chapters, there are 29 of them, and the only number that works the most is 19. Another number doesn't work. We did a statistical analysis. We already ran the
Who's
calculations. The submitters.
So 57 can be divided by 1, 3, and 19. So why not 3?
Okay.
Actually, yeah,
I mean-
you could take your argument for 19 and just make it 3. Because everything that's
That's
divided by
fine, but
19
you're
can
not-
also be
you're-
divided
but-
by 3.
Okay. Yeah, but the likelihood of a number being a multiple of 3 is 33%. The likelihood of a number being a multiple of 19 is 5%.
So
So it's much more likely to be a multiple of 3. However, even using this approach is fine. So in the 29 chapters, how many of them are multiples of 3? 19 is still higher. So that proves my point even more.
How?
There's 29 chapters, more of them are multiples of 19. Yeah, because it's less likely. Statistically, that shouldn't be the case.
But
Statistically,
statistically,
oh,
if it's a derivative of 3, it's also a derivative of 19.
oh, no, that's not true. That's not true.
Unless it's below 19.
Wait, what? No, that's not even. I don't think you understand math, brother.
No, I'm actually really
19
bad
is
at
not a-
math. Yeah, I'm not gonna
Okay,
deny
yeah.
that.
Well, it's showing right now, but God bless you for admitting it. But here's the thing: 19 is
But-
not a multiple of 3.
But well, yeah, 3 can fit into 19, can it?
Okay, so let me explain it a different way. Maybe this will be easier.
Oh no, it can't. That's so bad. I'm
Just
so
pay
bad
attention.
at math.
Yeah.
I'm
So
so bad at
listen.
math.
Let me explain to you what we're showing. What we're demonstrating here is consistent methodology. Because if I keep showing you
Yeah.
other elements of the Quran that are mathematically composed, you're going to say, well, that's arbitrary. Why did you choose that? Why did you? So we're using consistent methodology. So we have the Quranic initials, and they occur across 29 chapters. And so we're saying that
Okay.
across these, 19 occurs too much. It should occur 5%, but it's
Okay.
occurring 100%. It's occurring 80%. It's occurring 70%. It's too high. Higher than 3, which should occur 33% of the time.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Can I show you the Kendrick Lamar thing?
The what?
The Kendrick Lamar thing.
Okay.
Okay, just give me a second. Hold on. I just got to turn my speakers on for you. I won't be able to hear you for a second.
That's fine.
When Kendrick Lamar said
Quantum physics could never show you the world I was in.
he wasn't joking, the line is from Kendrick's feature on Pusha T's Nostalgia, and he continues by describing his childhood during the crack epidemic, using lines that feature the numbers 9 and 10.
When I was 10, back when 9 ounces had got you 10. And 9 times out of 10, niggas don't pay attention. And when there's tension in the air, 9s come with extensions.
When you add up these 9s and 10s, you get 87. Why 87?
I was born in 87, my granddaddy.
The hidden sum being its birth year ties into the verse's childhood theme. But why use only 9s and 10s? 10 plus 9 is 19, completing the birth year in full, 1987. But he also specifically used 3 9s and 6 10s. Why?
I said, Daddy, one day I'ma get you right with 36 zips.
A zip of cocaine is an ounce, and 36 ounces is a brick. And speaking of bricks, Kendrick cites one of these in the verse's climactic line.
Go figure, motherfucker, every verse is a brick. Your son dope, nigga.
Kendrick called
Okay, give me 2 seconds. All right, I'm back. So, yeah, like that is, and that's more complex because it has to fit musical patterns. So it has to be layered in the rhythm as well. So I'd say that's more complex than what you're showing me here. Am I all alone now?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I heard everything you said and played. Okay, so he's admitting that he deliberately designed that. So are you
Yeah.
saying the Quran was deliberately designed with 19? Like, that's what I'm not understanding. You keep going back and forth, right? You're not clear on your position. Because on one hand, you want to keep saying it's arbitrary.
Yeah.
But if it's deliberately designed, then it's not arbitrary.
Well, my whole point is
Right?
either way, it's not a miracle.
No, it is.
Okay.
Again, but you have to pick a lane that we can tackle.
Yeah, that's,
Because if
you know
keep
what? Fair
switching-
enough. I'm going to grant every one of your mathematical arguments. How is it
Okay, good.
from
Good.
God?
Good. So in chapter 2, it's prefixed with ALM,
Mm-hmm.
Aleph Lam Mim. And Aleph Lam Mim occurs within this chapter 9,899 times,
Mm-hmm.
which is 19 times 521. Now, this is layered. We're talking about layers, right? 114 chapters, 19 times 6. But now we're focusing on the Quranic initials. The Quranic initials are from chapter 2 to chapter 68. They run from Aleph Lam Mim, Aleph Lam Ra, Ha Mim, Yasin, Ain Sin Qaf, Kaf Ha Ya Ain Sad, Qaf, right? Noon, these are Quranic initials. All of these letters occur within their chapters in multiples of 19. No Muslim knows about this. Mainstream Muslims reject it. Mainstream Muslim scholars deny it, okay, but it exists. So the question is, if we're granting this, we're saying, okay, this is real, then that means there is a deliberate design here. And it is way more layered than Kendrick Lamar, because not only is the letters themselves structured, the word Allah is also structured. We talked about that. The number of times your lips touch is structured. The verse numbers are structured. So for example, 2698, which is the occurrence of the word God, that's accounted for in Aleph Lam Mim, because Aleph and Lam are part of that word. And this occurs in the Quran 2698, which is 90 times 142. Now, what's interesting is the number of occurrences of the word God, 2698, occurs in verses that if you add those verse numbers, you also get a multiple of 19. So if we're going to grant these, right, that this is deliberately designed with all these things, then we have to determine, did Prophet Muhammad intend to is he the one that did this? And the evidence shows he's not. There's no evidence that Muhammad numerically structured the Quran or was even aware of any of this. There's no claims about it. There's no evidence that he did. And this is the prophet where everyone's watching him, how he goes to the toilet, how he eats food, how he's having, sexual relations, how he's doing everything is being discussed. But there's no reference at all, ever, or any claim by him of any mathematical design or mathematical composition whatsoever.
Okay.
So where do we go from here?
I'm still not convinced. Like all you told me is he did some math. Like, okay.
No, I'm telling you he didn't do math.
But how do you know?
So so I want to understand your claim. So your claim is that Prophet Muhammad designed the Quran to be mathematically composed.
Well, it's not
but
my
he
claim.
refused to
I'm
tell
granting
anybody.
I'm granting an argument to kind of like move it forward.
Yeah, but
right?
under your paradigm, that would be the conclusion.
Well, I'm just saying
under
if
your paradigm-
Kendrick Lamar could do it, why can't Muhammad?
Because Kendrick Lamar didn't do anything like this. The Quran, when you write every verse next to each other, it's 12,000, over 12,000 digits. The
So he
number
just did
of
it
digits
more.
is Kendrick Lamar didn't do anything. Okay, so I guess my question is this: is there any threshold to human capacity when it comes to numerical composition, or do you think it's just humans can just do anything? Like if
Right.
Muhammad flapped his wings,
Yeah.
if he flapped his arms, can he land on the moon?
So mathematics
what you believe?
mathematics by default is patterns, right? That is what we're looking at.
Yeah.
We're looking at mathematics. Humans are pattern recognition creatures. I don't really think
Sure,
there
but-
is any
but how do you
mathematics
do-
humans couldn't discover.
Yeah, but if there were no numerals, how is Muhammad supposed to divide 12,000 digit long numbers?
If there's no numerals, he had no numbers.
Yeah, there's
no Arabic numbers.
No. Numerical values existed. They're represented by letters of the alphabet.
Okay.
Okay. But numerals, as we use them today, didn't exist. They were invented hundreds of years later, and they weren't in Arabia yet. So the prophet to be dividing long numbers, it's not possible for him. What tools? If I tell you right now, hey, divide
Wait,
a 12,000 digit number.
Wait. So are you saying that they're in different language? Like this is actually news to me. I've never really thought about it, and it actually makes sense because I just learned about onomatopoeia the other day. But different cultures have different numbering systems.
Yes,
Okay, so then why are we picking the English numbering system?
we're not.
Then what numbering system are we using?
We're using the Arabic one. We're saying,
But you said he didn't have
Muhammad-
Arabic numbering.
he didn't have any numerals at all, Arabic or otherwise. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
So there's no numerals when Muhammad lived? They didn't count?
What did you say?
There's no numerals when Muhammad lived? He didn't count? Like he didn't go 1, 2, 3. He never did that by any means?
No. They used abjad, which is gematria.
Uh-huh.
They had letters of the alphabet representing numerical values.
Okay. So then why are we picking our numerical values to assign upon it? If there are different versions of numerical values.
If I'm a shepherd and I have 5 sheep, I can still count that I have 5 sheep. I know I have a comprehension of the value of 5.
Yeah.
I just don't have numerals to represent it. So if I want to do math, I can't. I can't divide long division wasn't a thing. So for example, I don't think they had numbers more than like 5 digits long. So if I tell you, hey, divide this 100 digit number, what would you do? How would you divide a 100 digit long number?
Sorry, I don't understand the question. Can you say it again?
Well, I'm giving you a number right now.
Yeah.
There's a 100 digit long number.
Yeah.
What would you do? How do you divide a 100 digit long number?
How would I divide a 100-digit long number?
Yes.
Pick a number and divide it? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. How would you do that?
I'd pick an arbitrary random number and divide it?
No. I'm giving you the number.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a number that's 100 digits long.
Yeah.
How do you divide this number? Let's say you want to divide it by 5. How would you do that?
I'd put in the number you gave me and then click divide by 5 on a calculator?
Yeah, but Muhammad didn't have a calculator. That's my whole point. You're proving.
Yeah,
my
I'm
point.
I'm bad at math. Like get Dr. Blitz up here. I guarantee you like he's going to be way better at math.
But even if you were good at math, there's no way for you to divide a 100-digit long number by hand
Why not?
because you don't have numerals. How do you divide a 100-digit long number without numerals?
Well, how do you know he didn't have numerals? That's a big thing too.
There's no evidence that numerals existed in 7th century Arabia.
Just a quick Google search says the ancient Near East had numbers.
I didn't say numbers. I said numeral. Numerical values existed. Numerals that you can write on a page.
Numeral indexes. Yeah, quick Google search. Yes, the ancient Near East had a numeral system, with the most notable being Babylonian sexadecimal base 60 system. The Babylonians used a position system for the base of 60 numbers, which is the origin of the 60 seconds in the minute and the 60 minutes an hour we still use today. Early Sumeria systems predate this.
You think you can use base 60 to divide long numbers?
Why not? It's got 19 in it.
Do it. Show me. Show me how to divide a 100-digit long number with base 60.
Give me a 100-digit long number.
The number 5 100 times.
Okay, hold on, let me do this. Ready? Give me a calculator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 45, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. We'll divide that by 19. Wow, that went in there 200,000.
Wait, how did you?
2,902,39.
How did you divide the number?
With a calculator. I'm using a calculator because I'm bad at math.
Yeah, so do it by hand now.
I'm bad at math. I'm not good at it.
So you're not understanding the point. The point is that Prophet Muhammad couldn't do this. He didn't have calculators. He didn't have a computer.
I know people that are really good at math could do stuff like this.
Doesn't matter. It's not about being good at math.
What are you talking? How's this impossible? You know they had like ancient calculators with like sliding things to keep track of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are those things called? You're talking about
what are they called?
Yeah, you're talking about an abacus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it says the early versions have 5 digits and the later ones have 10. So explain to me how a 100-digit long number was divided with an abacus. It can't be.
Why not? Explain to me why
Show
it can't.
me. Put on your camera and show us.
Your argument is if you can't prove me wrong, I'm right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think you understand the points you're making.
I'm not making an argument. I'm refuting yours.
Pay attention. If you don't have a numeral system, how do you divide a long number? Without
I don't know how
numerals?
they would do it. I'm assuming they could.
They can't.
How do you know they can't?
How do you divide a 12,000 digit long number?
Wait, so you're telling me people couldn't do long versions of mathematics before the invention of the calculator?
No.
How do they program the calculator then?
How do they program the calculator?
Yeah. How do they know like if that's the case, how do we know a calculator is correct?
They give it an instruction and then they scale it up.
Yeah. So how do they know it's correct then if they couldn't check it?
They could check because it's following the instructions that you give it.
Right. So then they know a system on how to calculate long and big numbers, right?
That doesn't mean you could do everything by hand.
I didn't say they could do it by hand.
Harry, come on.
They could have chiseled it on a rock.
Yeah, again, there's no way to write down and divide a 12,000 digit long number. Prophet Muhammad didn't do this. You have to claim that he did these things in order to substantiate this. But the point is that he couldn't do this. He didn't do this. There's no evidence that he did.
Well, what I'm saying is, first of all, everything seems arbitrary and ad hoc. That was the first argument. But then I granted that, okay, there's an actual mathematical system there. And even if there's a mathematical system, I wouldn't find this very convincing that it actually came from God.
So then how advanced would it have to be if we're saying that it's beyond human ability? How advanced would it have to be?
I think it would have to solve like super complex systems that humans are just incapable of solving.
So you're saying the mathematical structure of the Quran, even if we grant it, there's no way that it could be a superhuman design.
Yeah, well, not based on what you're saying. It's like, okay, everything lines up to the number 19. Okay, what do I do with that?
Muhammad did this. Muhammad did this, but there's no evidence that Muhammad did it.
But what I'm saying is like, this is from God, right?
Yeah.
So God when trying to prove that the Quran is
Let me give you some examples.
But hold
and
on.
would
There's
attribute all
let
of
me give you two problems with this. So God, when trying to prove that the Quran is legit, puts in a mathematical system that you're claiming that nobody at the time could comprehend because they didn't have a numerical system. So then why did the people at the time believe that it was from God? That's one thing. And then the second thing, then the second thing would, yeah, hold on. But then the second thing would be like, okay, so he wanted to prove that it was from God by telling us everything lines up with 19. I mean, it's God. Like he could have showed us the equation of like how light years work.
The people at the time did not believe in the Quran based on the number 19. They didn't even know about the number 19.
Mm-hmm.
The people at the time believed in the Quran because it surpassed every kind of poetry or literary item that they had. The Quran's advanced literary quality was so impressive that it resonated with the locals, and it was a proof of divine authorship. It had nothing to do with 19 at the time.
So hold on. There's an objective way to measure poetry?
I think that, similar to, look, every miracle is appropriate for its time. Every proof is appropriate for its time. So the time of Moses, he puts it, you believe in the Bible, he puts his staff on the ground, it turns into a serpent and consumes what the magicians, presented. Today, if someone did that, you would just brush it off. So that means every proof is relevant.
I wouldn't brush that. If somebody turned a staff and turned it into a snake in front of me, I wouldn't brush that off.
So, okay, we have stuff like that in Vegas, right? David Blaine or whatever, what is his name?
I wouldn't brush it off.
Yeah, but there are illusions. Illusionists are able to do
but
things.
Did you read the story? Because that's one of the things that the Pharaoh's magicians claimed, is that we can do the same illusions, and then they started repeating it, and then the miracles kept gradually getting bigger and bigger and bigger to prove that it was from Yahweh. I
agree, but the point is that now illusions are more advanced than the time of Moses.
Okay,
so
can you make an entire river turn into blood?
There are illusions that are very advanced today. Okay.
But can we do that? So, is there an illusion that can do that?
Maybe there is, but I'm not getting into the details of it. But the point I'm giving is that the miracles, the proofs of the people are appropriate for that time, that era. So at the time of the Quran, the proof was this advanced literary quality. Now we live in the science age, and we live in a time where mathematics is key. Science is key. Okay, so the mathematical miracle of the Quran, which by the way was unveiled by Dr. Rashad Khalifa in 1974, how would the Quran predict when he's going to unveil it? His name is in the Quran 19 times. Did Muhammad know when Rashad was going to
hold on. You're kind of going down a big tangent. So let's go back to the example that used of Moses turning into a snake, right? I think that's a poor example because they didn't believe that it was like an actual snake at the time. They thought it was an illusion too, until eventually it got so big that they couldn't deny it.
Who believed it was an illusion?
The Pharaoh's magicians that were with him. They said, "Oh, this is not a thing. We can do the same thing," and they started doing the same illusions until eventually.
No, they didn't. They submitted.
They didn't.
It.
Are you going to the Quran or to what the Bible says? Because the Bible says they didn't believe it, and it gradually.
Yeah, I take the Quran over the Bible.
Okay.
The point is that the Quran says when they witnessed the miracle of Moses, and they saw that it consumed what they had produced, they fell prostrate, they submitted, and that's it.
Okay, so then we're kind of going circular because we're trying to prove the Quran, right?
Look, I'm making a general point that every miracle is appropriate for its time.
Yeah, I don't agree with that point.
Okay, that's fine, but I can say that the likelihood of people being convinced of magicians being messengers today is very low.
Yeah, I don't think they were convinced yesterday either, or 1,000 years ago either. I think they had magicians back then too.
Okay, so you believe that the Quran's values in Arabic, if I just recite to you the Arabic, you're going to think it's special?
What?
So the reason the people at the time of the Quran, at the time of the Prophet, accepted the Quran, a big reason was obviously its message, but two, the literary quality was very high. But there's no way for you to recognize that today, is there?
Okay, so let me give you an example about this for each generation thing. Like if I'm holding to what my scripture says, it says that the people who literally walked with Jesus, watched him perform miracles. We're talking about doubting Thomas. didn't believe that he had the power to resurrect himself from the dead. They had to see it with their own two eyes. Like the biggest thing that happened with Jesus in the Gospels is everybody kept doubting the things that he was doing.
Believe Jesus?
They doubted the
If
things he
Jesus
did.
told them they wouldn't accept it from Jesus?
Sorry, what?
If Jesus told them,
Mm-hmm.
I can resurrect the dead by God's leave, they wouldn't believe Jesus?
They didn't. Until
Then
he
they
showed them.
didn't believe. Then they didn't believe him.
What I'm saying is people doubt all the time. Like you're saying it's for each
Yeah,
time.
but you either believe. Look, you either believe or you don't. Okay, you're
Mm-hmm.
either convinced or you're not convinced.
Yeah.
If you believe Jesus was sent by God, then you trust him. And if you don't trust him, then you don't believe in him. Okay.
Well, that's
But
not the
I'm
point I'm
making
making, though. My point I'm making is that you're saying each generation is given a different standard. You're saying they're given poetry that supersedes everything that they have then. And I'm asking you, what is the objective standard on how we measure poetry?
Well, first of all, it wasn't poetry, but it was similar to their poetry in their
Mm-hmm.
eyes. But it was advanced literary quality. It had a pure message. It did rhyme, and it was much longer than anything that they've encountered.
Sure.
So that was impressive, and objectively, we have to acknowledge that it's impressive, right?
So
Because
Shakespeare, though.
Shakespeare doesn't claim to be from God.
So is it just
doesn't have
about the
anything-
claims? It's not the actual events that they're doing. It's about the claims behind them. Because anybody can claim anything, but then you need a justification
Right now,
for it.
you're dealing with Code 19, and you've collapsed.
I
That's
didn't
my whole
collapse.
point.
I'm just not convinced by it.
Yeah, I mean, but your explanations are laughable. You believe that Prophet Muhammad. So okay, so did Prophet Muhammad know who's going to discover the code? Do you believe Prophet Muhammad knew the future?
He knew who was going to. Okay, so he predicted who was going to discover the code.
The Quran does.
Okay, show me.
Yeah. So Rashad Khalifa is the one who unveiled the code in 1979. About the number 19 in chapter 17. I'm sorry, 1974. I apologize, I misspoke. But in 1974, the number 19 is I discovered as a miracle about the number 19 in chapter 74 in the solar year 1974, which is 1,406 years after the Quran was unveiled
Okay.
to Muhammad, which is equivalent to 19 times 74. This man, Rashad Khalifa,
Uh-huh.
he's the one that was martyred by God's leave. The Muslims slaughtered him.
Uh-huh.
And his name is in the Quran 19 times. And he's predicted in the Quran. The Quran says a messenger's coming.
His name,
to
the
perform
name
the-
Rashad Khalifa is in there?
Rashad.
Just the word Rashad?
comes from Rashada.
That is
Rashada is
that is
the Quran 19
insane.
times.
Dude, Muslims have a practice of naming their people off of names out of the Quran. Like, what are you talking about?
Wait, so you're claiming that his parents knew about Code 19, so they named him according to knowing that he's going to be in the Quran? What?
You're telling me a guy who found the number 19 in there also found that
Yes.
his name specifically correlated with the number
Yes.
19 and then arbitrarily assigned this 19 number to everything?
It's not arbitrary. It's 19 times.
You could pick number 3. You could pick number 2. If you
But
pick,
didn't pick the number.
Watch,
the number was already
watch.
picked in the-
If I
the
pick,
the number's already picked in the Quran.
did you know if you pick every second number or second word in the Quran, it equals a certain number? Like, I'm just saying,
never heard of
like,
it.
you can find
I've never
patterns in
heard of it.
anything.
I've never heard. Okay, so again, so now you're denying the pattern. Do you see how you keep?
I'm not denying the
whenever
pattern.
it's con-
I'm saying-
hold on.
I'm saying the
Whenever-
pattern
listen,
is
pay attention,
arbitrary.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
You keep no. Yeah. So it's not either you have to accept as a deliberate design or call it arbitrary. You keep switching when it's convenient for you. Right. This is why you're cooked.
No, I
Because when
said
it's convenient
I'm
for you-
not
hold on,
switching.
hold on. When it's
That's not what I
convenient-
said. That's not what I said. Let me
No,
clarify
no,
what I
no,
said.
You keep switching.
I
You have to be
granted
clear.
the
You have
number
to be
19
clear
was in
about your
there.
position.
I granted that
You
the
have
number
to-
I granted that the number
Okay,
19 was
so
in
then
there.
it's not arbitrary. So then you can't call it
What
arbitrary anymore.
it's
If
still
clear, it's not
arbitrary.
arbitrary.
It's still
not
arbitrary. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's-
because
no.
so the number 19 is in there.
It's not. You know, pay attention. It's not
Yeah.
either. It's yeah. You're laughing. I mean, it's a nervous laughter. I get it. But
Okay,
you
yeah, I'm nervous. Yeah. Okay.
either. Yeah, you are because either it's arbitrary,
Yeah.
or it's deliberately there. It's not both.
I agree.
Okay, so which one is it? Pick your poison.
So something can be there. The number 19 is there, but the assignment, the finding that pattern is arbitrary.
So the whole pattern is arbitrary.
What I'm saying is the discovery of that pattern. It's like, okay, if we look at this
How is
specific thing, we'll notice that it's 19. If I look at another specific thing, I'm going to notice it's 8. That's what I'm saying. It's arbitrary.
The Quran references 19 though.
What do you mean reference it? Does it say that it's going to show up in this pattern?
Yes.
Like where?
Yes.
Where does it say that?
Yes.
Show
We
me.
said chapter 74, verse 30 is the
74
hidden
verses
secret.
30.
Verse 30. Yes. Chapter 74, which is titled the hidden secret. Verse 30 says over it is 19.
So hold on. So 74:30.
Yes.
74. So the cloaked one.
No, it's cloaked is 73.
No, that's 74. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, you
My
have a
own
wrong
two eyes.
translation.
It's just Quran.com.
It's a wrong translation.
I don't. Okay,
But
I
whatever.
don't see. What's the title of the chapter?
Mudathir is the Arabic. The correct translation is hidden secret. Verse 30 says over is
Secret.
19.
There is no chapter named Secret.
It's not. Yeah, because they're not translating the verses correctly.
So you are a better translator than the actual
Yes.
people
Yes.
who have PhDs in this.
Yes. Yeah, PhDs mean nothing.
They mean
I
a
mean
lot.
nothing.
Yeah, it means that you've studied a specific thing for at least 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so you're a Shia and you study Shia theology for 80 years.
80?
And a Sunni with a PhD,
not 80.
80. Just add 80.
Okay.
80. Okay. So a Shia with a PhD is going to be refuted by a Sunni with a PhD. So it's arbitrary. That is arbitrary and that's meaningless.
It's not-
Has
it's not
value.
arbitrary.
They don't have
But-
access. It is arbitrary.
So I didn't say that
Okay, so
because
bring
they
it-
have a
so bring-
PhD. Hold on. I didn't say because they have a PhD, they're correct. I said it's not meaningless.
have-
It means
you're
they're an
assuming
expert
the
in their
knowledge-
field.
Yeah. Their field is idol worship. They're experts at committing idol worship because they worship Hussein, they worship Ali, and they worship Muhammad in Bukhari. So forget about it. So again,
But
let's go back to this.
That's
The
begging the
word,
question.
look, we're going in circles because you're not following the discussion. The Quran tells us there's a hidden secret. You can call
Where?
it cloaked. You can call it hidden. Chapter 74
But
is
74
hidden. You
is
want to
the
call it
cloaked one.
cloaked.
74
Yeah,
verse
which is-
ayah what?
Verse
What ayah?
30. Where does it say? Verse 30.
Verse 30 says
Yes.
it is overseen by 19 keepers.
Yeah, the word overseen is not there. The word keeper is not there. It just says over it is 19. Alayha means on
It just
it.
says it is 19.
Tisat Asha is over it is yes.
Alayha.
Alayha Tisat Asha. Over it is 19. That's all it says. So
Okay,
your translation is false. I just
So hold
refuted your
on. So
translation.
we'll just read the context. And what will it take for you to realize what hell is? It does not let anyone live or die, scorching the sin. It is, and by the way, the Arabic says over it are 19 keepers. This is just the English translation.
That doesn't. The Arabic
So scorching
the
sin
Arabic
over
doesn't
it,
say that.
over it are 19 keepers. We have appointed only stern angels as wardens of fire, and we have made their number only as a test for the disbelievers, so that the people of the book will be certain, and the believers will increase their faith. And neither the people of the book nor the believers will have any doubts. And so those hypocrites with the sickness in their hearts and the disbelievers will argue, what does Allah mean by such a number? In this way, Allah leaves whoever He wills to stray and guides whoever He wills. And none knows the forces of the Lord except He, and His description of hell is only remained by humanity, but no by the moon. So it seems that number is assigned to hell. Doesn't say anything about the book.
Okay, so let me read the correct translation.
Mhm.
From the beginning of the chapter, I seek refuge of God from Satan the rejected.
You're gonna read the whole
74, hidden
chapter?
secret, Al-Mudathir. It's quick, don't worry. It's gonna be faster than you. I seek refuge of God from Satan the rejected. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. Oh, you hidden secret, come out and mourn. Extol your Lord. Purify your garment. Forsake what is wrong. Be content with your lot. Steadfastly commemorate your Lord. And then when the horn is blown, it will be a difficult day. For the disbeliever is not easy. Let me deal with one I created as an individual. I provide him with lots of money and children to behold. I made everything easy for him, yet he is greedy for more. He stubbornly refused to accept these proofs. I will increasingly punish him, for he reflected then decided. Miserable is what he decided. Miserable indeed is what he decided. He looked, he frowned in mind, he turned away arrogantly. He said, this is but clever magic. This is human made. I will commit him to retribution. What retribution? Thorough and comprehensive, obvious to all the people. Over it is 19. We appointed angels to be guardians of hell, and we assigned their number 19. 1, to disturb the disbelievers. 2, to convince the Christians and Jews that this is a divine scripture. 3, to strengthen the faith of the faithful. 4, to remove all traces of doubt from the hearts of Christians, Jews, as well as the believers. And 5, to expose those who harbor doubt in their hearts and the disbelievers. They will say, what did God mean by this allegory? God does send astray whomever He wills and guides whomever He wills. None knows the soldiers of your Lord except He. This is a reminder for the people. Absolutely. I swear by the moon and the night as it passes and the morning as it shines. This is one of the great miracles, a warning to the human race for those among you who wish to advance or regress. So code 19 is referenced here.
Wait.
God is talking about the number 19.
Yeah. So, but it said you said it's to convince the Christians, but you said they didn't have a numerical system. So how did it convince them?
I mean, ultimately, the Christian today has to say the Quran is from Satan. So that it is attributing divine origin.
I don't have to say that.
Or is super. You believe the Quran is from Satan, right?
Yeah, I don't have to say it's from Satan. I think that's a possibility. You can put that like a hypothesis on the table, but it could also just be that Muhammad made it up.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you're going to have to say it's from Satan or you're going to have to say it's from God.
Why?
Because that's really what it comes down to. If we're making a religious claim, it's either from God or it's from Satan. It's a binary process.
But why does it have to be from Satan? Why can't it be just Muhammad made it up?
Doesn't your Bible say it's from Satan? Doesn't your interpretation of the Bible say that if it's a gospel different than this, then it's from Satan?
It says that if an angel of light appears to you and presents you a gospel that's
Do you
even
believe
different
Muhammad
than this,
was an angel of light?
well, first of all, I have to believe that Muhammad actually had a revelation from an angel of light.
Okay, so you don't take the Galatians verse.
I'm saying that's not what I said.
Okay, so pay attention. Let's just stay focused. Just stay focused.
Okay, I'm focused. I'm locked in.
The
All right, let's
Quran,
go.
the Quran,
All right.
the Quran says there's a hidden secret, and it's referencing the number 19. Not 3, not 11, not 9, not 13, not 15, not 17.
Okay.
19 is the number.
Yep.
Okay. And in 1974, Rashad Khalifa discovered that the whole Quran is coded based on the number 19.
So they gave a code that couldn't be revealed to people until 1974.
Correct. And nobody knew about this. Your claim
But it was given for the
is that
Christians
Muhammad.
that they couldn't interpret it.
No.
So
said
the
that?
giant proof of the Quran is a code that's given for people
Yes.
that couldn't even
Yes.
understand
Now.
the code for hundreds of
Now.
years. So give me the
Now.
justification.
Yeah,
hold on.
because it's for the
Hold
people.
on.
It's for the
Give
people
me,
now going
give
forward.
me. I'm going to grant the whole argument. I'm going to grant all of it. Let's say that's true. There's a code that was only revealed from 1974. Give me a justification for why anybody should be a Muslim before 1974.
I don't think they should be Muslim.
Or
I don't think
a follower of the
I
Quran,
don't
or
think
believe that the
should-
Quran is from God. Sorry.
I mean, the Quran's message was pure before 1974.
Okay, so what was their evidence before 1974?
The pure message,
What do you mean?
worship God alone, right?
How's that an evidence?
I don't believe in that kind of evidence. I believe if you're an Arabic speaker previously, the Quran is comprehensively coded based on the number 19. I'm sorry. I take that back. The number 19 is now. I misspoke.
Yeah.
Previously, if you're an Arabic speaker, you would be impressed with the literary quality of the Quran. Okay?
That's a subjective standard.
I mean, they were, right?
It's still a subjective standard. Like, I think the
Sure, and
Psalms are more
that's
beautiful.
why it's not.
I think the Psalms are more
Sure,
beautiful than the Quran.
But that's why that proof is not for you. I don't believe in this idea of, oh, I just recite the Arabic to someone.
hold on.
and they're gonna
Do you know
believe
what
it.
subjective means?
Subjective means on personal's own experience.
Close. It's stance dependent, which means it's not an objective way to measure things, which by definition
I
means
would
it's
say-
not an evidence.
I would say objectively, comparing the Quran to any poem that existed in Arabic, the Quran is superior by all metrics.
Does it have to be Arabic?
Yeah, we're comparing apples to apples, right?
But so if I can find a poem that's better in like ancient Hebrew, that doesn't do anything?
I don't think neither of us can appreciate the Quranic Arabic of the 7th century. That's why it's just not for us. It's not relevant to us. That's the point I'm making.
I don't think that's a good justification for anybody to believe anything
not-
because they
it's
think a
just
poem
not-
is nice.
Well, I mean, if they believe it far supersedes the ability of the people at that time, right?
But so
and the
did-
message is pure, then there's a good reason to believe in that. But that's not the metric by which you and I should believe
But
in
so did Shakespeare. Shakespeare produced poetry that's
No.
far superseded
Shakespeare-
anybody from his time.
it. First of all, Shakespeare doesn't claim to be from God, so it's
Right,
irrelevant.
but you're just saying the claim. So if somebody claims something and then does the thing, then it's from God. But if they don't claim it and do the thing, then it's not from God. So therefore, it's not actually the
Right,
thing that's
so-
a proof.
so
Hold on.
there's
It's
no-
not the hold on. It's not the thing that's the proof. It's the claim. And I'm asking you why I should believe the claim.
So Shakespeare doesn't claim to even have guidance. It doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even serve that function. Even if it doesn't make the claim, it's not providing any kind of religion or way of life that has to do with anything.
But I'm
So
saying,
it's just an irrelevant. It's a moot point that you brought up for no good reason.
how is it
So just
irrelevant?
focus.
How is it irrelevant if
because-
the evidence is it's from God, but a man can also do it?
Yeah. So the point is that Code
Mm-hmm.
19 right now can be replicated. Code 19 is the miracle for the humanity now going
Mm-hmm.
forward. We're talking about the Christians now. Okay. So pay attention. So again, if you're going to grant the Code 19 miracle, then you have to explain to me how the whole Quran is structured and how are we even able to observe it today? So that means you would have to acknowledge the Quran is still intact from 1400 years ago, right?
Well, actually, no, because all I have to do is point out the fact that there's a contradiction. Because the Quran specifically says that that book was given to Muhammad as an evidence to his people for that time. But then you're saying
Okay.
that the justification to believe in the Quran doesn't come until hundreds of years after. That's a
The
contradiction.
justification for us.
What's the
we are not
justification for
Muhammad's
them?
Them is the advanced literary quality.
But that's
But not for us.
That is actually arbitrary. That's
Your
subjective.
claim that's your claim.
If Shakespeare can do it, why does it prove?
He can't. You're assuming he
Yeah,
can.
Shakespeare can write poems that I think
He
are
can.
better than the Quran.
and I don't think you're qualified to make that judgment.
Okay,
what
who's
makes you
qualified?
qualified to assess that?
Okay,
Not
who's
you.
qualified?
Not you for sure.
Sure, fine. Who's qualified? Point me
Okay,
at the qualified person.
don't make a claim you cannot substantiate.
Then who's qualified? That's my point. There's no one's qualified.
It's not. It's irrelevant because it's not the metric today.
Yeah.
The metric is math.
Yeah.
The metric is the mathematical design of the Quran. Your claim is that Prophet Muhammad did it, and
Yeah.
I'm saying that's a ludicrous claim. There's no evidence of that.
Yeah.
That's not substantiated, and the Muslims don't even believe that.
Yeah, but your claim is
Simple as
that
that.
your claim is that people of the
Yeah.
past had justifications through good poems.
It's advanced literary quality. But again, you
How do you
keep
know it's
sidestepping
advanced?
the
What is
point.
the standard?
I mean, look,
Well,
I'm not a
well,
native. Yeah, go ahead, DTX.
I got a question for Big John.
Yeah.
So what makes you to believe in the Bible? Because you could argue subjectively, oh, I never witnessed Jesus rising from the dead. I never witnessed Jesus in his mission, right? What makes you to believe in the Bible instead of you looking at actual evidence of 19 being displayed
Yeah,
in
this
the
is just a
Quran?
red herring
How's that red herring?
because it's an argument adjacent.
No, like because you're trying to argue the fact that well, no, I don't believe in Code 19, but
Okay,
yet
okay, watch
that
this,
would
watch this.
exclude
I'll
all
apply
the
the same
physical
standard to the
actions
Bible, and now
of
I'm
the
no
Bible.
longer convinced of the Bible. Now what?
Yeah, because now there is objective evidence.
Yeah,
that
so
you
I
can
don't
see
believe in
from
the Bible
Quran.
anymore. Now what?
Yeah, so you can look at the Quran now. The
Okay,
Quran
so
now has
what is
objective
the
evidence of Code 19.
justification before 1974 to believe in the Quran?
You have to believe
Be
on
a good
faith.
person. Yeah,
you
just
have
be a
to
good
believe
person.
on
Faith in what?
You have to.
So
you
there's
have
no
to-
justification?
Faith in God. So
Chapter
there's
2,
a
verse
natural.
62.
The
Chapter
Quran
2, verse
says
62.
the Quran says there's a natural instinct in all people to worship God alone. So a rational person just born into this world would not inherently worship Jesus. You have to be indoctrinated to worship Jesus. So just someone that's
Yeah,
born.
atheists
they
make
have
the
to
same
just-
claim that people are born atheistic. What's your evidence that you're born with this inherent belief
No,
to believe in God?
chapter 2, verse 62. Believe in God, the last day, and do good. Before that time,
Yeah.
you literally just do those three things and you can enter heaven.
Atheism doesn't
That's just
explain.
another claim.
Yeah. Listen. Atheism doesn't explain
Mm-hmm.
the origin of life. Atheism doesn't tell us why we're here. Atheism doesn't give us any path. Atheism doesn't explain why we're here, what we're doing here, and what is the purpose. Atheism doesn't even explain the creator. There's no purpose in atheism.
So
So it's useless.
that's completely irrelevant if it's true.
It's not irrelevant. It's not irrelevant. Why would I choose a useless path? What's the point of living as an atheist? Can you explain it to me?
I don't think there is a point, but that's the case, right? That might be the truth.
Exactly. So you agree with me? It's useless to be atheist.
Yeah, but you're assuming that there has to be a point. Why does there have to be a point?
There is a design in this world,
Okay.
and in order to have an advanced design, there needs to be a designer. That designer is God.
How do you know
This
it's
is inherent
designed?
information. The brain is the most complex item in the universe.
Why does
Who
complexity
designed the
mean
brain?
design?
Okay, so you reject intelligent design.
I'm not
You're
rejecting
gonna make
it. I'm
atheist
I'm
arguments.
just showing
So I
you how
don't
silly the
understand,
argument
like,
is.
It's not a silly argument. So I don't understand. Are you role playing? Are you cosplaying as an atheist now?
No,
or what?
I'm just saying it's a poor argument. I'm just saying
It's not a poor argument.
you say
It's not
that
a poor
people
argument.
you say people are born with this inherent belief to believe in God. Atheists claim the same thing,
Yes.
that people are born naturally
They
atheistic.
can't prove it. They
You
can't.
can't prove
it.
that we're born with this inherent belief to believe in God.
I'm testament myself. I looked at the universe and I said, all these stars, all these galaxies, there has to be a creator. There has to be a designer. All of this can't be for nothing. That's just a natural conclusion I got without even reading the Quran
And I know
or the Bible or
atheists who
anything.
looked at the whole universe and said there is no God. So what?
If you didn't know, Big John, there is actual evidence. I think there's like a scientific study that says that there's a genetic code in all humans that do have an, predisposed ability to worship God. Like we're just
What's that
naturally
code?
to, and not a code. It's a genetic trait that humans have. You can search this up. It's like we're already predisposed to believe in a God because it's just found in us. That's our thing.
We're
So
predisposed to
like,
believe in a God. So if I put a baby out in the wilderness and he's raised by wolves, he's just going to start believing in a God? Like, how did they come to this conclusion?
yeah, this is just a research I found. But go ahead.
Well, so you didn't read the paper?
And
Or did you just read the title and then
Wait a
just like
sec.
spouting it off?
Okay, so let me understand something. So do you believe in God?
Yes, I believe in God.
Okay, good. So the Quran gives a more comprehensive, accurate, and definitive position on who is God
Okay.
and what
how?
we're
How
supposed
do
to
you
do
know?
in this life. Well, I mean, do you believe in the Bible?
Yes, I believe in the Bible.
Which version of the Bible do you believe in?
Yeah, so I don't really hold to this idea of versions of the Bible. I take an historical approach.
So, how many books are in the Bible?
It could be 73 or 66.
So you're not sure.
What I'm saying is it could be either or. It doesn't change anything.
So in Christianity you have three layers of problems.
Mhm.
One, you can't identify the correct scripture. Two, you can't
So you can't
identify
defend
the correct
Islam, so you're going to
translation.
attack Christianity?
I don't defend Islam. I come here to attack. I come here to attack
Okay,
Islam.
you can't defend
That's what
whatever
my life is
religion that
about.
you've invented.
I can. I've been defending it for hours.
Hours? We haven't been talking.
I've
Have we
been-
been talking hours? Has it been hours? I've been
I
having
mean,
fun.
I've been on for at least a couple hours just myself.
Oh,
But the point
yourself,
is
yeah.
that
I thought you were talking specifically me.
I come on here every day and
Yep.
attack Islam, mainstream Islam, because I believe it to be a satanic doctrine.
Hey,
They worship
we
Muhammad.
agree.
They worship Bukhari. Yeah. But the Quran is the word of God. And I'm inviting people to the pure path of the Quran. The Quran is proven with Code 19, and you got stuck because you're saying, well, Muhammad knew about this. If you want to say that Code 19 doesn't exist, I'm going to show you evidence that it does exist.
Wait, how am I
and
stuck?
if you say Code 19, because I'm explaining it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're saying Code 19 doesn't exist, I can easily demonstrate to you mathematically that it does exist.
Mm-hmm.
And if you agree that it does exist, then you're going to say, oh, but Muhammad did it. But there's no evidence that
Well,
Muhammad
no,
did it.
no, I'm just saying.
So the
I'm just saying
only-
I can point out a contradiction, even if it does exist, right? The
What's the
problem is
contradiction?
the
Go ahead.
contradiction.
Go ahead. What's the contradiction?
Yeah, the contradiction is you saying the justification doesn't show up till 1974, but the Quran itself says that there's justifications for the people.
People
then.
had to believe, people had to believe on faith. 1974 forward, they can believe on
So you're
consistent, solid
literally
proof.
telling me before 1974 there was zero justification to believe in the Quran.
There are arguments to be made, but there are many of them are debatable.
So
For
you
example, the
agree there's
Quran-
no justification for them then?
There are justifications.
What's the
Quran invites you to
justification?
worship. The Quran invites you to worship God alone.
That's do you know what a justification is?
Yeah. If I'm a monotheist and I want to worship God alone, then inherently the Quran is going to make more sense to me than Hinduism.
That's not a
or
justification. That's a
Christianity.
knowledge. So there's three pillars of knowing.
What do you
things,
mean
right?
that's not a
So
justification?
I'm
That
going
is a
to explain. I'm
justification.
going to explain. There's belief, knowledge, and justifications. You start on this idea. So like a belief, right? So let's say you're looking at a river and you're like, you know what? There's got to be a way to cross that river. That's a belief. Then you have a knowledge. You say you're walking down the river, you pass a guy. He says there's a bridge down that way. Okay, so now you have knowledge that there's a way to cross the river, but you still need a justification. The
So what- okay, so
justification,
what's
hold on,
your
let me finish.
justi-
Let me finish. The justification is finding the bridge and then crossing it. Now you have a justification
What-
to say there's a way to cross
What
that
is
river.
the justification for you believing in whatever sect of Christianity you believe in?
The
What's your
historic-
justification?
Yeah, so the historical portage model.
So basically hadith, which I'm calling satanic here.
What? Hadith?
You believe in hadith, just the Christian version of hadith.
No. What are you talking about?
So where do you get your history from? Where do you get your
historians.
proven history from? That's not proven history. It's debatable.
through the historic criteria.
That's hadith. That's
What
what
the hell
we're
are you
condemning
talking about?
here.
Hadith.
Yeah, hadith. That's hadith.
How do you know anything in
people
history?
witness-
How do you know anything that happened in the past?
I don't take my religion from history. You do. So you're in an unjustified
Yeah, I'm
position.
not talking about a religion here. I'm talking about a justification.
Yeah. How many people witnessed Jesus resurrecting?
21.
Yeah, and more people in Islamic history witnessed Muhammad split the moon. So does that make it true?
So, okay, show me that more people witnessed him split the moon.
I don't believe in neither of those. That's my point. I don't base my
So what
religion
is the
based on
justification?
anecdotal,
That's what I'm
historical.
saying.
I don't. Code 19 is the miracle. You don't have anything. You think you have something.
Well, how do you
but it's actually
confirm?
worse
How do you
than-
confirm
it's-
anything in
what
history?
You have, listen. I don't
Wait.
base my religion on history.
Wait. So
That's
your
the
whole
point you're not
thing is to
getting.
deny all of history? That's your criteria? I'm going to
No,
deny
I
the
believe-
entire historical method?
Wait. I believe. Hold on.
Yeah.
I believe history exists, but I'm not going to use my. I'm not going to rely my salvation on a version of history that's being claimed.
I'm not
gonna
talking
do
about
that.
salvation.
You are. Okay. So then, where are you getting your means of salvation from?
Yeah, I'm getting it through Christ Jesus, but that's not what I'm talking about.
How?
That's
How
two
do you know
different
that?
questions.
How do you know that?
That's a
How do you know
category
that?
error.
How do you know that?
Yeah, so I can
That's
say
assumption.
I have a justification in the death and
Yeah?
resurrection
What-
of Jesus Christ looking at the historical portage model.
You have no evidence. The Muslims can say the same thing for the blasphemies they believe in.
I would
You have
love
no
to I would
evidence.
love to do that. I would love to sit with a Muslim and compare
You
the
can't-
evidence.
You can't. The Muslims have plenty of chains of narrations.
Okay, show me.
Right? They have advanced sciences. Yeah, it's all garbage. The same as yours. It's all garbage.
You're saying it's a one-to-one comparison, yet you don't know my criteria, and yet you can't give me their criteria.
The Muslims have invested more of their time into
So what is
hadith
the criteria?
sciences
You're
than
just
you
saying
have.
they've done things. Show me the criteria.
Criteria is objective proof, which you don't have.
What is
And you
their
acknowledge it's
criteria? You're saying it's a one-to-one comparison. Prove it to me.
similar to yours. I
How?
don't look.
You
I
don't
haven't
even know
gone
my
into the-
criteria. How do you know it's similar?
Compare. I'm assuming it's something like comparing
you're
chains
assuming.
of narration. Okay, so you explain it to me. Go ahead. Explain to me the chain of narration to get to the 21 witnesses of Jesus' alleged resurrection. Give it
Yeah,
to me.
it's
Explain
called
it to me.
textual criticism. It's looking at the history.
Okay.
Yeah, it's looking at the history of the epistles and the gospels, comparing it to other
Okay.
histories that are not Christian.
Which
and
was written
seeing-
60 years after the prophet.
Oh,
60 years
you
after the
did-
prophet
did
Jesus
you,
died.
did you listen to it? Did you listen to what I said? What did I just say? What was the last thing I just said?
Looking at history and comparing it to what you have from the apostles.
No, you weren't listening. So listen. You
So
look-
what's your
you're not- I'm
definitive
trying to
proof
tell you,
for
but you
your-
won't shut up and listen.
Give me your definitive proof. Why should I convert to your sect of Christianity?
Yeah, I don't care if you convert to my sect of Christianity. All I care about is
So
if
you don't even.
believe.
So you don't even claim to be upon the truth.
That's again, you're making all sorts of conclusions of not what I'm saying.
So what? Okay, so what's your religion? What's your sect
I'm a Christian.
of?
Yeah, I don't share my denomination because I don't care that much about denomination.
So who's the authority in your religion?
Yeah, Christ Jesus.
Yeah, but I mean that's so basically you're the Christian version of Quranist. So which
No,
translation
I'm not
of the
a Bible.
Bible is
I'm not
authored?
a Bible only guy. You're assuming a whole bunch of dogmas about me. So again, I
Okay, so
look at the
which
historical
translation of the
method.
Bible? What makes you qualified to rate translations of the Bible?
I'm not qualified to rate translations of the Bible, nor did I claim I
So
was.
so you don't even have access to your own religious scripture.
What are you talking about, bro? You're making a whole bunch of accusations and
read-
complete. You're
how
not
do
even
you-
letting me apply my method.
Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay
You're not
attention,
even
pay
letting.
attention, pay
You're
attention,
scared.
pay
You're
attention.
scared.
No, I'm not scared.
You're
of anything.
100%
Pay attention,
scared.
pay
You're not going to actually let
Pay
me
attention.
apply my method, and
Pay
you're attacking
attention.
things I don't even believe
You
in.
just said that you read the Bible. When I ask you, how do you affirm what the Bible says? You say, I'm not qualified to analyze it. Then what are you doing?
I said I'm not qualified to affirm a translation. That's not what I said.
Yes. So then how do you know what you're reading is accurate?
Yeah, I compare different translations.
So there's plenty of translations. That doesn't mean any of them are right.
Yeah, so you compare the translations, and then you compare.
So
Then you
what?
compare that.
And they can all be wrong.
Hold on. Then you compare that to like lexicons and things like this, and then you can derive the best conclusions.
Wow.
But you
Why-
know, there's Bible verse. There's Bibles that have missing verses. They have like missing, like what's it called?
It's completely
chapters.
irrelevant to anything that
So
I'm saying.
basically,
You guys
I'm
are.
debating a Muslim.
Do you guys know what a straw man is? Do you guys know what a straw man is?
I'm literally debating a Muslim.
Do you
okay?
guy know what a
Your
straw
words
man is?
Are no different. You're no different than the Muslims that come
How?
on here and they say, "Oh, we use our lexicons. I use my own judgment. I have a relationship with God. I understand it. It's all
I
arbitrary."
never said
This
my
is
relationship
subjective.
with God pushed me in anywhere. Do you know what a
Your
straw man
religious
is?
experience. Your religious experience is subjective. True or false?
It's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're not willing to share your denomination with us.
Yeah.
You can't affirm your translation of the Bible. You have no proof of your religion. Yet you have the audacity to question the ultimate miracle of the Quran. What are you standing on?
Saying,
Nothing.
you're saying I don't have any proof because you actually won't let me make my argument, and then you keep
Okay,
making
go
straw
ahead. Well,
mans.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so
What's your proof?
the historic reportage model, where you use textual criticism to compare the historical documents of the Bible to other things in history to see that if the authors were trying to be authentic. If you can conclude that they had the goal to be authentic, then when you run into things like they say Jesus Christ resurrected, you have to put hypotheses on the table. The hypothesis that has the most explanatory power and most explanatory scope is the more likely one to be true.
Yeah, that's still not proven knowledge. That's probabilistic knowledge.
That's a
Similar to
justification.
hadith.
That's not a problem. Yeah, everything is probabilistic. Everything.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
you have
is.
like different.
So wait. So when Jesus comes to you and says, "I have direct words and commands from God," you're going to say, "Jesus, you're being probabilistic."
Everything's probabilistic. How do I know I'm not a brain in the vat being fed that information?
What?
Wait, but Big John, you have like different accounts of history about Jesus and his apostles. Like, for example, Paul claims that 500 people witnessed Jesus, like, rising up to heaven.
Yeah,
Or, like,
can you just
oh,
do
yeah,
me a
the-
quick favor, DTX? Can you just Google strawman for me and just read it?
How's that? Okay,
Yeah,
how's that
so-
strong?
Yeah. So
I'm just showing you particularly.
Can you guys just
flaws
tell
in
me
your
what
own
my
work.
argument is?
it has to do with historical analysis, and then based on that, you make a subjective assessment, and you go along with whatever you think is best. Is that fairly accurate?
No, not even remotely close.
Okay, so give me your strongest evidence for your religion right now.
Yeah, the strongest evidence would be the historic reportage model. If you want to go through it, we got a couple hours. We can do it.
Yeah, I mean it means nothing. You're just saying nothing.
What do you mean it means nothing?
I'm giving
How
you
do you know it means
objective
nothing?
evidence. I'm giving you objective evidence of God in the Quran.
Define evidence.
And you're saying, yeah, verifiable information. The Quran is
Verifiable
mathematically
information?
composed. Yes, the Quran is mathematically composed.
So where's your
beyond
Nobel
human
Peace
ability.
Prize?
What?
If it's verifiable information, present it as a study to the scientific community and get your Nobel Peace Prize.
Sure. I'm not a I guess that kind of scholar.
It's
willing to do what I'm
verifiable. You
capable of
have all
doing.
the information.
Yes.
Go get your Peace Prize. You'll convert
Sure.
everybody to your religion.
I mean, someday, sure, but right now we're not there yet.
You should raise King Sylv.
The Quran is mathematically composed beyond human ability. I was actually going to read some of it, and that's the claim on this book, who was slaughtered by the Muslims, Dr. Rashad Khalifa. Simple to understand, impossible to imitate. This book comes to you with built-in physical evidence that is God's message to you, is mathematically composed beyond human ability. Now, you claim this within human ability. I still don't understand how. You couldn't explain to me how Muhammad divided a 100-digit number, let alone a 12,000-digit number. But let's look at some of the
You should bring up
evidences.
King Sylv. You should bring up King Sylv.
Who's King Sylv?
Yeah, he's the goat.
He's Christian?
Yeah.
An Arab Christian? All right. Come on up.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Absolutely.
Peace and welcome to the program.
God bless, God bless. Amazing. Is it okay if I jump in as well, or are you guys still having
Yeah, you can participate. So I'm trying to understand, what's your view of the Quran's mathematical structure?
Yeah, I believe that the Quran is false. It has been corrupted multiple times, and you
How do
can't
you explain
even show
Code
me
19?
King
otherwise. Hold on one
Sylv
How do you-
knows the Quran.
There's no
How do you
evidence
explain Code
whatsoever.
19?
There's
Let
no
him- let
evidence
him
whatsoever
wreck
for Code 19. It's just a claim that you guys
okay.
love to make
So
based on
wait.
conjecture.
So
Do you have any evidence
hold
for
on.
that?
Conjecture. Yeah. Let's go through it. So the Quranic initials prefix how many chapters? 29 chapters. How many of them need to be a multiple of 19 for it to be statistically significant? Can you explain that to me?
What does that have to do with me being a Christian critiquing what you're making as a claim?
I'm addressing what you just said. You just said there's no evidence. Hold
I
on.
said
You
there's
just
no
said,
evidence. So do you have evidence?
Yeah. So yes. The Quranic initials occur within their chapters of multiples of 19. That is
Okay,
evidence.
so
And
that is no evidence. That's just a
what's the-
subjective evidence.
what? It's not subjective because
Oh, it
we
is
didn't choose the
subjective.
number. No, it's not subjective
Because you're
we
going
didn't
based on what the Quran is.
We didn't choose. Wait, so give me an objective way of analyzing
beautiful.
the Quran
Watch
based on
this.
number 19. Go
Okay,
ahead.
sure. No problem. No problems. So what you're doing right now, just to clarify,
Just answer my question. No, don't
sure,
divert.
sure.
Don't divert.
I'm not.
Answer the
I'm not.
question.
I got
If you're
you.
gonna
Just
divert
calm
the
down.
discussion, you can go back down.
David, I don't know why you're
You're
so
saying it's subjective.
hostile
No,
towards me, bro.
I'm not
You
being
big down.
hostile.
We're
I'm trying
having
to
a good
guide the conversation.
man.
Yeah.
Can
We've been
I
having a
speak
great
now?
conversation with Big
Beautiful.
John.
As soon as I came up,
Okay,
you started going crazy. Calm down.
I'm not going crazy. Not going
You
crazy.
are going crazy. Let me just
No,
talk.
pay attention. Just understand my question.
Finally, somebody who gets
attention
people
to
more
my
spicy
question.
than I do.
before I answer you, so I can understand where you come from.
Go ahead.
I don't know
Go
why
ahead.
you're like. All right, awesome. Just a clarifying question: are you only going based on what the Quran is saying?
Right now, we're analyzing the Quran for
No,
the
you're
comprehensive code
Sure.
based on number 19.
Right, and you're going based on the Quran only, right?
Yes.
Beautiful, awesome. This is why I wanted to clarify
I love
first.
how Arabic
Now, let me
speaks.
ask you this: how do you know that the Quran is a divine
You're changing
revelation?
it.
How do
Yeah,
you know
it's
that? Hold
mathematically
on.
composed.
Oh, just 1 second, please. How do you know that the Quran is considered to be a divine revelation? How do you know, right, who wrote the Quran and who
We can
wrote
get to all
Surah
of that.
Al-Baqarah as well?
We can get to all of that. Just pay
No,
attention.
for us to
You're
actually
diverting
get
the
to the code
discussion.
of, I'm
No,
not.
pay
We have to
attention.
get
Pay
to the meat of
attention.
it from the
Pay
beginning.
attention. Yeah. Pay
I am
attention.
paying attention.
Right now, in the Arabic Quran we have, is there
totally
any
forgot something.
structure in it based on the number
I
19?
don't
Yes or no?
care about your subjective
Okay,
opinion. You're going based on.
he's not, hey, John, he's not willing to discuss.
That light
He's
makes
not willing to
That's the whole
discuss.
point.
Give me an objective
And I
metric by which I can
you keep
measure the
muting
Quran.
me.
Are you
You keep
gonna,
muting me. I don't know why you keep
are
muting
you,
me.
because you're not engaging in
So
the
you're
conversation.
because all you're doing is, let me tell you why.
Because it's not.
Let me tell you why, Naveed.
Okay, I'm
Can I
willing to give
explain?
you, no, listen, you're getting one last chance. Getting
This-
one last chance. Listen. You said it's subjective. There's no evidence. There's no evidence of a code in the Quran, and I'm trying to understand objectively how I can identify that if there
I'm not
is
even
or if there
speaking and you
isn't.
keep muting.
Hold on. Just stop speaking, dude. Just stop speaking. Let me explain this to you. I'm giving you a chance. You'll have a chance to speak. Listen
Go ahead and
carefully.
ask your question. Watch this, guys. Oh, you're gonna let me speak, right?
Yes,
All right,
you,
go ahead.
God willing, you said the Quran is not structured based on the number 19. I'm trying to understand the metric that you're using to determine that that's not the case. Give me the metric so then I can apply it and I can analyze it for myself and reach the conclusion you've reached. That's what I'm asking for.
Awesome. You guys saw how I allowed him to finish without even any interruption. Hopefully, he'll give me the same respect and the same time that I could speak. So, what he's doing, guys, he's going to the Code of 19, proving that Code of 19 within the Quran, which what we call a subjective opinion. He's not even showing us any evidence outside of the Quran. And this is why I'm actually critiquing that position by asking him these questions. How do you know? First, let's get to the meat of it. How do you know that the Quran is considered to be a divine revelation? Why do you think the Quran is a divine revelation? Who wrote the Quran? Who wrote Surah Al-Baqarah? We have to get to this so we could go further.
He's a nice
Once you
guy.
could
Let's not insult
establish
him.
that the Quran is a divine revelation from Allah, and who wrote the Quran,
He's a
and
nice guy.
all of that, then we could go
calling
further
a
with
freaking
the Code of
unicorn horn
19.
here.
That you're only going based on what the Quran is. You're not even going outside of the Quran to show me, right, about the Code of 19. So can we do that?
Okay, so listen carefully. Right now, I'm observing that the Quran is mathematically composed beyond human ability. You're denying that, so I want to go through it and explain to me where I'm getting it wrong. Okay?
The reason
can I
why
ask
I'm
a quick
denying
clarifying
it because
question?
you're going
so
based on
that's
what
fine.
the
That's
Quran
fine.
is saying.
You can
Hold
deny
on,
it.
both
You
of
don't even-
both you
you
guys
can
can ask
deny
a
it.
quick
We're
clarifying
not-
question.
we're not-
Can you please stop?
Please
Okay,
stop.
still man
Please
what I
stop.
said.
Please stop.
Still
Please
man
stop.
what I said, please.
No, please stop.
Can I ask
Pay
just a quick
attention to what-
question?
Yeah, go ahead, John. Honestly, I wanted to thank you, John. You've been very respectful. We've had a civil dialogue for at least, 1 or 2 hours now. This gentleman hasn't been able to yet. I hope he does, and we could just have a dialogue. Go ahead. What's your question, John?
Yeah, so you said that the mathematical equation is not possible through human comprehension. Like
It's not possible through human
the mathematical
capacity.
equation in the Quran is not possible through humans can do it, right?
Yes. Yeah. The human cannot structure the Quran where the whole Quran, thousands of digits, are all structured based on number 19. The number of chapters, number of verses, specific words, letters, phrases, the Quranic initials, all of these are 19s throughout the whole Quran.
Okay.
It cannot be done by humans. It cannot be done by humans.
No human could do it even today.
No. No, not even today. No one could do it.
Okay. How do you know that?
I'm witnessing it. I've even used AI and attempted to do it.
That's
Right?
not a human.
So, but hold on. Yeah, it's more advanced than humans. Look, this guy is saying there is no code. And I'm asking him, let's go step by step, like we did with you, and analyze it. And then we'll get to a point where you'll concede that there's a code. And then we're going to say, okay, it's within human ability.
But here's
we
the
have
thing.
to break both of.
You see,
Here's
how
the,
you
here- here's the
strawmanned
thing. You
everything that I
said
said?
it cannot be done by humans. Yet you have no reason to actually believe that.
Because no human can divide a 12,000 digit number by hand,
I said today.
even today.
I'm not asking if they could do it by hand. I'm saying, can they do it?
You can divide the number, but I don't believe you can construct the text to correlate with this. No.
Okay, so how do you know they couldn't do that?
I mean, similarly to how can you flap your arms and land on the moon?
No, but I
How
have
do you know you
I have justifications to believe I can't do that.
I have justifications to believe that they can't do this.
Okay, what are they?
The Quran's mathematical code has too many layers to it to be the work of humans.
How do you know that?
Right?
That's just
Because I
that's
observed
circular.
it.
You're saying that
It's not.
it
yeah,
can't be
so,
done by
I mean-
humans because it can't be done by humans.
It can't be done by humans because I've seen what humans are capable of, and this far exceeds any incident.
Right, that
of a
you're
human.
saying the same thing again, but just differently. You're saying it can't be done by humans
So
because
how would
humans
you?
can't do it.
Okay. So how would you phrase it? What terminology would you use to describe the phenomena that I'm discussing?
Yeah, so anything that's not circular. I'm not going to make your argument for you.
Yeah. So I mean, the Quran is objectively coded on 19. So, but again, do you see how we're debating two different points? You're saying it is coded, but it's within human ability. He's saying no, it's not coded. So we're having two different debates that are actually contradictory to each other. So that's why I've been telling you from the beginning of this live, pick a lane and stick to it, and let's just debate that. Because if you're going to argue, yeah, this is within human ability, and he's saying, well, there's nothing here to even look at. So then what are we talking about?
Actually, all I'm doing right now is just testing your epistemology.
Yeah. The Quran is mathematically coded beyond human ability. You told me to bring this gentleman up. I brought him up. He's saying, no, there is no code in the Quran.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing why you should listen to King Silv. Because if King Silv can confirm that the Quran is corrupted, by definition, that would confirm it's not from God because the Quran itself says it cannot be corrupted.
The Quran says that it's preserved in the master tablet. There are variants of the Quran in the world, but the correct one is identified with the ECC error correction code of Code 19. That's the
Again,
whole
you're
point of
making-
Code 19.
Again, you're referring to your
so-
subjective opinion, which you have no
Silva,
evidence for. All you can do is make claims.
Silva,
Can you please
Silva,
say
Silva,
my
pay
name
attention.
correctly? My name is Silv, and I don't know why you keep interrupting me
Silv.
every time that I speak. But
Yeah.
Because you don't make John makes points and we address them back and forth.
because
But for
you
some
don't like
reason
my
with
points
you-
because it buries
No,
you.
it's
That's
not about
why.
liking. It's not about
Buries
liking.
you, that's why, trust
I don't
me.
like any
Everybody
of John's
doesn't like
points.
me. I know that.
Hold on.
It does seem
I
like
don't
you're more
I don't
hostile
like-
towards Silv than me.
Hold on.
I don't know why,
like
by
any
the
of-
way, John. I've been respectful the whole time.
You
Sylv, pay attention. Pay attention. Does the Quran mention the number 19 or not?
I don't care whether the Quran does mention it or not. This
so
is
then-
the reason
so
why
then-
we're
so then,
critiquing.
so then stop. Shout out.
I
stop,
don't
please.
believe in the Quran. This is why I'm critiquing.
Okay. It doesn't matter. So that's why
Look
we
how
can't
he-
talk to him, John. That's why we can't talk to him.
Why? What did he
because
say?
He says he doesn't. Because I asked him, is the Quran mentioning the number 19 in it? He says, I
The
don't care.
Quran is
If
false.
you
I don't care. Can I speak?
Yeah.
Dude, can I speak?
We're doing an objective analysis.
How is
Okay,
that
about
objective
whether or not-
when you're going to the Quran
because-
itself? What?
Because the claim is that the Quran is divine. Okay, so we're doing an
Exactly.
objective analysis. Pay attention. We're doing an objective analysis about whether or not the Quran is divinely structured.
Can you
When I'm
please
telling you, the
define
evidence
what
shows. Pay
it
attention.
means to
Pay
do
attention.
objective? Can you define
Yeah,
what
that
objective
means-
means? Go ahead.
Yeah, that means you have fixed parameters. You use consistent methodology. You're not biased, and you find observations.
What is the
of a
difference between
deliberate-
objective and subjective?
So I'll just clarify the
objective-
terms. Objective is stance independent. Subjective is stance dependent.
Right. So that's why
okay.
I said to him. That's why I said to him.
Beautiful.
We have 29 initial chapters, and these chapters occur their initials within them in multiples of 19. Why is this happening, Sylv? Explain it to me.
The reason why this is happening, and I'll tell you why, and hopefully this time you could get it and pretend that you're listening. I hope so, by the way. The reason why, because first of all, I don't agree with the Quran. The reason why I'm
It's
critiquing your own.
irrelevant.
One second, it is.
Let him finish, man. Let him finish. You're not letting Sylph speak
John,
at all.
John, do you
man.
understand? Do you understand how he's introducing subjectivity to it? He wants to make sure to say, "I don't
This
believe
is
in the Quran."
insane.
That's irrelevant. Whether
Let
or
me
not
just
you believe in the
finish,
Quran
dude.
is
Let me
irrelevant.
finish. It
Focus
is.
on the
It is
question. No,
relevant.
focus on the question
He's
I'm
too
asking
scared.
and answer it. Why are these
I
initials
don't
in
know why you're
multiples
too
of
scared.
19? Just
I don't know
explain
why
it to
you're
me.
too scared. Okay, can
I'm
I
not
can I tell you
scared.
that?
I want you to stay
Wait.
on point.
I can bet you that you're stuttering. This is the reason why you keep muting me. Otherwise,
So,
you're not going to
so
mute me.
hold on, guys. Why don't you guys let me moderate, and then that way we can
Okay,
Yeah,
actually
go
get
ahead.
somewhere.
please do.
Okay.
Please,
yeah,
Okay.
John, please go.
All right.
ahead.
So we're gonna
what
give
if-
we're gonna give time periods. I'm gonna give 5 minutes to King Sylph, and then King Sylph can make his
no,
point.
no.
No,
How much time?
So
If he's
How
gonna
much time?
rant,
3 minutes.
if he's gonna
John,
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. 3 minutes is
if
fair.
he's- Listen.
3
Or
minutes
2
is
minutes.
fair.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
He,
Or 2 minutes
he,
too.
he
Yeah.
needs to just make his point.
Yeah,
We should
sure.
be
2
addressing
minutes.
my question within 2 minutes.
okay, so-
whether or not
Okay,
you
2
believe in the Quran is irrelevant. I'm asking you a
Navid,
question.
Navid,
Give him
Beautiful.
2 minutes.
Navid, let me
Give him
me
2
ask you a
minutes to
question.
answer
Let me
my
ask you a question. If he's going to say stupid things, let him bury himself. You don't have to do it for him. The whole audience will see that he's stupid.
Exactly.
Let me address this. Let me pose the question to you. The way you have to answer. The specific question
The way that-
is: explain to me why the Quranic initials. There's 29 of them. Explain to me why the Quranic initials occur within their chapters in multiples of 19. Please go ahead. I'm waiting for the answer.
Awesome.
To that.
Okay, so hold on.
I have 2 minutes, right?
Just to be clear.
Right,
So
John.
the question here is explain the 19 initials in the Quran. Now you agree
Within
to
the
give
Quran.
within the Quran. Now you agree to give him 2 uninterrupted minutes, correct?
Yeah, that's fine. That's
All right.
fine. You
All
can
right.
get
I'll
2
put the timer on, ready, and go.
Awesome. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak finally, by the way, guys. So this is him referring to his subjective opinion, by the way, guys, because I'm over here critiquing the Quran and what the Quran is, right? We have to get to the meat of what the argument is about, right? For you to say, well, the code 19 is within the Quran. First of all, I don't even believe in the Quran for you to even make that argument. That's not the argument that I'm trying to make over here. The argument that I'm trying to make and press you on whether the Quran is considered to be a divine revelation or not. If we could get through this, then no problem. You know, we could go further with Code 19 to show within the Quran. Now, here is my question to you, and hopefully now you could track and answer the questions. How do you know, as if you believe in the Quran, right? Because you can't just say, well, God threw it from the heaven. He was playing the quarterback. Oh, it's just stupid. You're going to have to show me how the Quran is considered to be a divine revelation, right? And plus, who wrote the Quran and who wrote Surah Al-Baqarah? Do you have any evidence to back up what you believe in, right? That has to do with the Quran, since you believe in the Quran that is considered to be a divine revelation? That's the questions that I'm actually asking you. Once we could establish this, what we call a foundation, then we could go further that you could prove that Code 19 is within the Quran. Why do I say that? Because if you cannot show the audience and me, right, that the Quran is a divine revelation, then what's the point of us even getting into the Code of 19 within the Quran? You're going to have to establish your foundation. You're going to have basis, right, towards your argument that you're making. You can't
10
make
seconds.
an argument from ignorance. Go ahead.
All right. So just to steel man what King Sylph is saying, so I would see if we all get it across. To make the argument of the number 19 in first place, you first must get the foundation. This would be the source of where it came from to confirm that he's actually doing something miraculous in the first place. Is this correct?
Yes, basically, yeah.
Okay. Navid.
Okay, he has 2 minutes. He can't complain. He can't whine about it. You got your time. So you didn't answer my question. The question was, why are these letters occur? Let me just back up so you know. So there's 114 chapters in the Quran. 29 of these, by the way, someone's saying I'm running. I just had headphones. I went to go get a pen. I was listening the whole time, didn't miss anything. 29 chapters of the Quran are prefixed with the Quranic initials. My question was, why are these initials occurring in multiples of 19? Saying I reject the Quran or I don't believe in it or it's false doesn't answer my question. The question was, why are these letters occurring within their chapters in multiples of 19? And they're being listed out in the chat. Aleph Lam Mim, Aleph Lam Ra, Yasin. You guys can look them up yourself, okay? I'm not going to go through all of it. So chapter 2, 3, 7, 10, 11, 4, 12, 13, 14, 15, 19, 20, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 36, 38, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 50, and 68. These chapters in the Quran are prefixed with the Quranic initials, and these letters occur within their chapters in multiples of 19. The claim is that this is a deliberate design, and this is attributed to God. Prophet Muhammad didn't do this. Okay. The question I asked the guest was, okay, explain to me why they're occurring in multiples of 19. And his response was, well, I don't even believe in the Quran and I reject Quran and blah, blah, blah. Show me what is the Quran. It's like, no, the Quran is mathematically composed and these are within their chapters in multiples of 19 because the author of the Quran, which is God, attributed them in this way. Okay. So this is consistent methodology. It's not going to happen with any text. You take the Quran references the number 19.
10
you
seconds.
take the number 19, and within these chapters, it's statistically significant how many times it's multiples of 19 because the Quran is mathematically composed.
And
It
time.
wasn't done by any human. That's fine. Thanks.
So to steelman what you're saying, just make sure that nobody's speaking past each other. What you're saying is the foundation is completely irrelevant because the numeric miracle is so grandiose and great that it just proves itself. It's self-evident. Is that right?
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, the message of the Quran is to worship God alone. The way to do that is outlined in the Quran, and the proof of that is the Code 19 miracle released by Dr. Rashad Khalifa in 1974.
Okay, I got it.
That's it.
Okay.
I got it. Can I respond again to just his? Okay. Let me know when I could start.
As soon as you start, I'll put on the timer.
Awesome. As you guys saw, as I already know that he was not gonna address everything that I've said, right? He's gonna go back to his main question that he asked, which is subjective. It's not even objective. He's not even going outside of the Quran to show otherwise, to prove his claims that he's making within the Quran. I already told him that the Quran is false. But here's the example that I could give. If I have a book, I came up with a book, and I write numbers within that book, does that mean that that book is true? Does that mean that you have to believe in that book? Well, make it make sense, you know? I mean, that's just referring to my subjective opinion by me writing that book and having these numbers within that book and saying, oh, this book is a divine revelation. You know what? I'm only going to rely upon this book and I'm not going to show you any other evidence. Whether you believe it or not, it's up to you. You know, it's just my subjective opinion. This is what we call circle reasoning. But here's my thing. I'm going to give you one contradiction. Watch this, guys. Hopefully you can deal with it. If there is a contradiction within the Quran, which is P and not P, obviously that book is false by itself. Look how I'm being generous, right? Doing him even better. According to Surah An-Nahl 89 says, okay, we have revealed this Quran, and it has an explanation of everything. لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ in the Arabic. Everything that has explanation of. Surah Al Imran 7 says that some of the verses are precise, which it means that not all of the Quran has an explanation, which is P and not P. And this is what we call a clear contradiction. Now, host, I would like you to please address what I'm actually saying to you and what I'm presenting as an argument. All right? Because if you're just going to go to the codes and all of that, this is just referring to your subjective opinion. And hopefully
10
this
seconds.
time he could go ahead and deal with it. Go ahead, host.
All right. So the Steelman, what you're saying is that this
Okay.
19 is completely arbitrary and ad hoc. Anybody can write something and put in like some mathematical equation. What you present is an actual contradiction. If that contradiction is true, then the Quran cannot be true. Sound right?
Okay.
Yes. Basically,
Can I speak now?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so the Quran is mathematically composed. That's objective. Your translations and interpretations of some verses is subjective. You've got it reversed. The Quran is mathematically composed. The claim that he made was that anyone can write a mathematically structured book. I agree, anyone can. But the level of complexity of the Quran exceeds anything that anyone's ever done. And I would take a moment to just read some of this, right? So the Quranic initials occur within their chapters in multiples of 19. All of them do, okay? But we have more evidence. All of the Quran is comprehensively coded based on number 19 objectively. I just want to read some of it. The first verse, Basmala, is 19 letters. The number of chapters is 114, 19 times 6. Number of verses, 6346, which is 19 times 334. The verses themselves, the numbers 6346 add up to 19. The first revelation is 19 words, 19 times 1. The second revelation is 38 words, 19 times 2. The third revelation is 57 words, 19 times 3. The last revelation is 19 words. The Bismillah is 19 letters, and each one of those words occurs across the Quran in multiples of 19. The Quran itself references the number 19, so it's not arbitrary. Chapter 74, verse 30 says, Alayati Sadasha, which is over it is 19. The Quran is comprehensively coded based on number 19. If reference it, the word proof, baina, occurs in the Quran 19 times, and it says this is one of the great miracles. It is those 7435. This is one of the great miracles. Digits add up to 19. It says وَيَزْدَادَ عِدَّتُهُمْ, which means their number. وَيَزْدَادَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِيمَانًا. 7431 says it increases the faith of the faithful. My faith increased after witnessing this. This is not human made. This is advanced, comprehensive
seconds.
mathematical design. The Quran is comprehensively coded based on number 19, and you're not able to engage with this. You're not able to refute it.
All right.
All right.
Let me know when I could start speaking. This is insane.
Whenever you
All right.
start.
Yeah, sure. This is so funny, guys. He couldn't even address any of the points that I actually brought up. Matter of fact, he said, "Oh, you're referring to your subjective opinion." But wait a minute. What the heck are you doing then? Ain't you referring to your subjective opinion when you're reading the Quran and you're making up while you go with it? Make it make sense, host. Come on. Now you're being you're being a hypocrite a little bit, with all due respect to you. Now I brought you in contradiction. Why are you not dealing with the contradiction within the Quran? It's clear because the Quran, right, says that it has an explanation of everything according to Surah An-Nahl 89. Ali Imran 7 says that some of the verses are clear, not all of it. This is P and not P, which is a clear contradiction, right? I'm not referring to my, I don't think I am referring to my subjective opinion. I'm going based on what the Quran is saying. But what you're doing is you're putting your own, right, code 19 and stuff like that into it, right? A book to be false is that we have to show a contradiction within that book, right? To show how that book is not from God either. I mean, that's just one of the premises why, one of the premises to show that the book cannot be true from God at all. This is besides obviously, going to a historical evidence. And as of me already asking you this question, which you couldn't even answer, by the way. I asked you, who wrote the Quran? Who wrote Surah Al-Baqarah? How can you trust the Quran based on what? You can't even provide any evidence. All you're saying is that we have gotten the code 19 in 1749 or whatever, right? When the Quran was revealed in the 7th century, which is insane, guys. I mean, it's a big gap, right? All he's saying is, right, trust me, bro, and that's
10
it.
seconds.
Host, I'm not going to be over here all day. Either you address, right, the points that I'm actually showing you and the questions that I'm asking you, or there's no point.
Time.
Because it looks like that you're not on a level that I should be speaking to. But go ahead. Hopefully this time he can go ahead and answer.
Oh my God.
Nervous laugh, mashallah.
That's
Go ahead.
hilarious. All right, nervous laugh. Okay, I don't think you understand what subjective means. Your translation is subjective. I don't even accept your Arabic translation into English for those verses. Chapter 3, verse 7 doesn't say some verses are clear. It says some verses are allegorical or multi-meaning. Now, you won't accept my translation, fine. That's why we're going to objective evidence, and that's code 19. If you want, I can lay out the sequence of events of how to get to where I'm at, right? Code 19 is true. It proves the Quran is from God. It proves the messenger of the covenant, Dr. Rashad Khalifa. Rashad Khalifa as messenger, we trust his translation. I reject your translation of the Quran. You're not authorized to translate the Quran. Rashad Khalifa was. This is the authorized English translation of the Quran. And in the authorized English translation of the Quran, there are no contradictions. The Arabic Quran has no contradictions. Your tafsir does. Your interpretation of the Quran does. And I'm inviting you to a comprehensive proof of the Quran. Code 19 is real. It's observable, it's verifiable, and it proves the divine origin of the Quran. You have to explain it. Waving it off, brushing it off, and saying, "Oh, I don't believe in this, whatever." That's not objective analysis. I asked you for an objective analysis when you showed up. I asked you, why is the Quran coded based on the number 19? At least John attempted. John said, well, Muhammad did it. It's within his capacity. Then we examined, did numerals exist? Did they not exist? Whatever. But you're just waving your arms like nothing. Explain to me how the Quran is mathematically composed, because it is. The Quran is mathematically composed, and it verifies one version of the Quran that Prophet Muhammad received. I'm not a Sunni. I'm not mainstream Muslim. I don't accept any of that.
10
I
seconds.
accept the one single Quran the Prophet received, and we are able to demonstrate that with the Code 19 Ultimate Miracle and the Messenger of the Covenant, Dr. Rashad Khalifa. That's it.
All right, beautiful. Watch this.
Why don't you guys just start swinging now?
Yeah, let's go.
Big
Let's
John,
go.
Big John. Let me go and respond real quick.
Yeah.
And we'll get to the cross
Explain
exam.
why I should accept your translation of the Quran. Explain that to me.
I got you. I got you. Once I'm addressing what you have said, then we could get to the cross exam. No problem. Okay. All right.
Yeah, you know half your time is spent laughing, man. Just make your point.
As you guys saw, that he couldn't even address any of the points. Now I'm going to present more points to him. Let's see if he's going to be able. Now, I don't know which Quran you're referring to. Are you referring to House, Duri, Warsh? I don't even know which one, because the Quran...
I can explain to you. You can ask and I can explain.
Hold on. This is my time. I'm addressing you, then we could get to the cross exam.
I'm not timing anymore.
What it means. No, you go ahead and time it real quick, and we'll get to the cross exam.
But for it to be fair, I would have to time you and then time him again. That would make it better.
Okay,
no problem. Naveed.
You had your chances, you squandered your chances.
Okay, my question to you is, Naveed, which Quran are you referring to? Are you referring to the Quran of Ibn Mas'ud, which has 12 chapters? Are you referring to Ubay bin Ka'ab Quran, which has 116, or Uthman 114? Which one is it?
Easy. So in 1924, yes, 1924, I don't understand why you're laughing. I'm trying to explain.
Go ahead and answer the question, dude.
Yeah. In 1924, the Quran edition was standardized with using Hafs and Asim. Then in 1974, Dr. Rashad Khalifa analyzed the Quran and proclaimed Code 19. Code 19 identified that the correct version of the Quran is within Hafs and Asim. And within that, there's further purifications that happen. Remember, the Quran says it's preserved in the Lawhul Mahfuz, the master tablet. And we use Code 19 as the ECC error correction code in advanced antivirus system to do further purifications to the Musaf that's in circulation to get to the correct Quran that I have in my hand. Okay?
I got
so
it.
Code 19 is observable, but as long as you refuse to engage with the content of Code 19, you're not going to get anywhere.
No problem. So just to go ahead and summarize what he's saying, guys, that we have changed the Quran, we have,
can I say something
House and Duri and all of that to actually make up our own Quran. So congratulations for actually admitting that you guys have corrected the Quran.
Can I bring up just something real quick that I just read online? About numerology,
go ahead.
The numbers that you're using. Again, you might have objections to this, but just the criticisms. I'll be transparent. I'm just reading Wikipedia. I know Wikipedia is not a trustworthy source, but yeah. Common criticisms of numerological claims also apply to the Quran code. Critics often invoked the concept of stochastic processes to explain how seemingly mystical patterns could appear in a large database. One such critic was Bilal Phillips, who argued Rashad's Miracle 19 theory was a hoax based off falsified data, misrepresentations of the Quranic text, and grammar inconsistencies. Additionally, since the Quran manuscripts contain orthographic differences in certain passages, the precise number of letters in those sections can be unclear. For example, since the frequency of the letter Aleph is subject to debate, there is not a universal agreed letter count in the Aleph initializing surahs. However, to prove this theory, Khalif chose those versions of the text that included the letter frequencies divisible by 19. Additionally, Khalif claimed that the initial nun in Surah 68 should be spelled as to include the additional nun, wa, nun, in place of the orthodox spelling nun. This allowed Khalif to claim that there are 133, 19 times 7, nuns in Surah 68, instead of 132, which is not a multiple of 19. However, Khalif's spelling does not appear in any Quranic manuscripts. He also assumed that the correct spelling or reading of the word Bastian, which occurs in Surah 7, verses 69k, contains the Arabic letter sin instead of the letter suad, which is a conventional spelling. He based this assertion on the Samarkand Codex, a 19th century Quranic manuscript which includes a spelling with the letter sin placed in the suad. Khalif also claimed that the two verses in the Quran, specifically Surah 9, verses 128 and 29, were humanly added and should not be included. He supported this claim by the Hadith Sahih al-Bukhari 7424, according to which Zid ibn That tasked Abu Bakr with compiling the Quran, found only to witness to attest
you're
the
saying a lot
validity of
of
the
stuff.
verses
Can I
19
address
and
some of that?
28.
Can I just, yeah, can I address some of this?
I was almost done. It's almost finished.
All right, let him finish. Let him finish.
Thus, Khalif claimed that the Quran has only 6,346 verses instead of the traditional count of 6,348. The omission of these verses is integral to his theory. If those two verses are taken into account, there are 2,699 occurrences in the word Allah and 115 occurrences in the word Rahim, which neither are multiples of 19. Further, and this is the last part, furthermore, the version of the Quran code is questioned as it only used for certain aspects of the Quranic initials, surahs that are initiated and not fully examined in the context. Since early Quran manuscripts differ orthographically in certain passages, it makes it difficult to construct a urtext on another expression of the I can't say that, for the Quran, which is in turn used for the letter last Uramitz as well as Gematria. Anyways, that's it. That's the whole thing.
Gematria. It's Gematria. Yeah. That's okay. All right. You made a lot of claims. Let's go through them one by one. So the claim is that there are disputed counts. That's fine. We can go to undisputed counts of initials and we still get we still get a code and we still get multiples of 19. So let's introduce the non-disputed chapters. Qaf, Ain Sin Qaf, Yasin, Hamim, Kaf Ha Ya Ain Sad. That's 5 right there. Mm-hmm. We have 29 initial chapters, okay? Take out all the alifs, take out noon, take out tasin, take out tasin meme, take out all of those. Anything that's disputed, take it out. When you have 29 chapters, you can go to your AI and ask, 5% of all numbers should be multiples of 19. When you have 29 chapters, 1 out of 19 should be a multiple, so you should have, and 38 would be 2.
Oh, what happened?
Oh man, didn't I tell you that he
sorry, so you should have. Yeah, sorry. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I apologize. I got a phone call. I shut it off. So there's 29 chapters in the Quran prefixed with Quranic initials. If we remove all the disputed claims, right, and we focus on the undisputed ones, which even this Bilal Phillips guy, Abu Amina Phillips, Rashad already wrote a refutation to him during his life. Remember, Bilal Phillips celebrated the martyrdom of Rashad Khalifa. He celebrated he was murdered, as Muslims do, unfortunately. But that's okay. Rashad went to heaven. He was blessed by God. He got to a high rank.
MashaAllah.
The Quranic initials, okay, in 29 chapters, we should expect 1 or 2 to be straight multiples of 19. Because 5% would be a multiple of 19. If you have 19, you expect 1. If you have 38, you expect 2. But we're at 29, so it's 1, 1.5, which practically would be 1 or 2. So that's why I started this. Qaf is not disputed, it's a multiple.
The part that I think you're really not focusing on is the word alif. So I'll read this again. For example, since the frequency of the letter alif
I'm
is
saying
subject
remove
to
all the
debate.
alifs. Yeah, I'm saying remove all the alifs.
So basically, he's telling you remove.
But that would be the entire Quran, not just some chapters.
Listen. Listen. It's a 2-step process. Number one, we have to establish code 19 exists. We can establish code 19 exists without utilizing alifs, right? We can establish code 19.
How do you have 19? Well, 19 what then without the alif? 19 what?
Yeah, the Qaf. For example, Qaf. I just told you. Qaf, Yasin, Ain Sin Qaf, Kaf Ha Ya Ain Sad. All of these work. You don't need alifs. You don't need the fake verses, nothing. We can establish code 19 is real. It exists. Once we establish it exists, then we can utilize the antivirus functionality that it serves. Okay?
He's trying to dig it in, John. He's saying, let's dig it in and remove the other ones to make it look better for us.
No.
Basically, yeah.
It's not removing. Pay attention. It's not removing alifs. People are saying,
but
hey,
then this does seem arbitrary.
Listen. No. It's not arbitrary because
so
there's 29
what are you assigning
to
19 and why?
Yeah. So chapter 50 is prefixed with the letter Qaf. We're counting Qaf within this chapter. Undisputed.
Why are you counting Qaf?
Because it's a Quranic initial. We're counting Quranic initials using
why not count an alif?
methodology. You can count aleph, but
so
you
why are you
just
picking
said
Qaf?
it's just because Qaf is undisputed, but aleph is disputed.
But I'm just saying,
So
like,
we
it just
wanna-
seems like, why not pick anything and count that? Why are we picking Qaf?
Because it's prefixed with Qaf. We're counting the ones that they're prefixed in.
So?
Okay.
Prefix.
So-
Wait. How is that a prefix, dude?
Okay, so explain
What?
chapter 50, verse 1 to me. Explain chapter 50, verse 1.
You go to read it. Since you wanted to run from the contradiction and all of that, it's okay.
Yeah,
go
so
ahead and read it.
chapter 50, yeah,
Ran
like,
away from one of the
honestly, you
arguments,
keep
which is
you
okay.
keep laughing, but you don't have any comprehension of any of
Brother,
this.
you ran away from
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
arguments
No,
to trying
no,
to
you
justify
made no
Code
argument.
19.
No. So someone wrote in the chat, he says you're cherry picking. I'm not cherry picking. The Quran has 29
Don't worry about
chapters.
the chat. I don't know why you're so worried about the chat.
That's
dude.
fine. Pay attention. The Quran has 29 chapters that are prefixed. All we're doing is looking at how many of these prefix chapters are multiples of 19 in the occurrence of the prefix initials. That's it.
Well, I
So why
got
don't you
I got to be
look at
honest.
the
I got to be
Quran
honest
and
with you,
others?
Navid. This is one of the most unconvincing arguments I have ever heard. For
That's
the Quran,
fine.
and I've
You're
heard a
free to go
lot.
to hell. Look, and you believe your sect of Christianity is going to go to
John,
heaven without any
is it
evidence.
fine if I continue with him?
You don't have
mind,
any evidence for your religion. I'm not even sure if you guys are from the same denomination.
Oh, we have multiple evidence
What is-
to provide. But let's go
Can
ahead
you
and show
just
how
real
you're-
quick? What is
so
the word
what-
evidence again? What does that mean?
Proven knowledge.
Proven.
Something you
So
can
again,
observe.
if this number 19
Yes.
thing is proven, you have
Yes.
evidence for it.
Yes.
Bring
Yes.
it to the scientific community and get your Nobel Peace Prize.
I'm happy to.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm happy to.
Let's-
I'm
let's-
happy to. The point I was making is that the Quranic initials occur within the chapters, even the undisputed one beyond probability. Qaf occurs in chapter 50, 57 times, 19 times 3. Yasin occurs 285, which is 19 times 15. Kaf Ha-Ya Inside occurs 742 times, which is 19
and
times 38, I
COVID-19
believe.
happened, so therefore God judged the world. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, but how does COVID-19 give you direction to your life? How does COVID-19 tell you what God's dietary laws are?
It told you
Saying
to
nonsense
wear
isn't gonna-
masks
is-
and
is
keep
not gonna save
distances
you.
from people.
That's fine. That doesn't teach you salvation.
But it's 19. That should only listen, they picked a disease based off a number
The
that only
Quran-
happens 5% of the time. So
So-
actually, here's the thing. They
the
picked a
year
number.
was- I mean,
They
you're just
picked a
saying
number.
nonsense
They
now.
picked a
You're just saying
number.
nonsense.
COVID-19 was
To be
picked.
fair, you've been saying.
Hold
you've been-
on.
to be-
Listen.
To be fair, you've been
I've
saying
got-
nonsense this entire time.
I've got some deep theology for you. COVID-19
You-
was picked.
you're saying-
if you
you're saying
do the
nonsense. Please
mathematics,
don't- you mock the-
COVID.
If you mock God's miracle, you won't.
That's
be able to
5
speak.
plus
Pay
19.
attention.
5 plus 19 is
Yeah.
24.
Pay attention.
24.
Pay attention.
24
It's
only
un-
shows up
God's words.
It's un-
once
it's un-
out of a
this
trillion.
is
That's
the proof.
one out of a trillion
This is the
times it
proof.
shows up.
This is the proof.
So therefore,
This is
the
proof.
evidence is 1 in a trillion times that COVID-19 would
This-
show up. Also, it happened on a specific date. That's another 1 in a trillion chance. So it's because the chance is so small. Therefore, COVID-19 must be a judgment from God.
Okay, so it's a judgment from God. Now what?
Yeah. So therefore, COVID-19 is the one true religion. So we should all wear masks at all
COVID-19 is
times and social distance.
COVID-19 is a disease, not a religion.
COVID-19. Listen. We start off the most important thing,
You're
which
just
is what
saying nonsense.
started with COVID, right? That's a 5-letter word. That 5-letter word has the prefix after, or sorry, the
Okay.
subtext after it. That's 19. That's 24. There's 24
So-
hours in a day, man.
Okay.
And what are the
so
chances?
I'm
What
trying
are
to
the
understand-
chances that
okay,
we
so you've
that
been
we
on
would
here
get
for a couple
that we would
hours.
get a thing that'd be
Okay,
24
wait.
hours in a day?
I just want to understand your position now. So we've been talking for a couple hours. Are you telling me that the Quran is structured based on number 19 or is not structured based on
What I'm
number
telling you is COVID-19, that equals 24. There's 24 hours in a day. They were telling
you're
us how to run our
you're
days on a daily
malfunctioning.
basis.
So he's malfunctioning. Does anyone want to come up and discuss?
But
Let's bring some
listen.
people.
Jokes,
Why don't you
malfunctioning?
jokes
malfunction,
aside,
dude?
man. Jokes aside.
You're not-
You've been very civil
Yeah,
and
yeah.
very good interlocutor. I appreciate your time. I'm gonna jump on now. You should talk to King.
All
So
right, thank you.
God bless. Well, if you enjoyed that video, you might enjoy this one over here, where we talk to somebody about something about a very important topic. I'm actually not too sure what we're gonna put over there, but I guarantee you it's good. If not, I wouldn't have posted it. So we'll see y'all over there, and God bless.